Mr. Media.
Yesterday, I didn't want to bring this up, but yesterday he fell asleep during the show at 9 o'clock when he's supposed to be working.
Oh, really?
And I really do
At
think...
his desk?
Dude, cop to it. You fell asleep during the show.
I didn't fall asleep, but I was extreme.
Liar.
I didn't fall asleep. I was tired, and I definitely closed my eyes.
Want to see the tape? Here, Robin, look. Watch the video.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a video. He ain't moving. He's dead out. All right. Is there a way I can make the job more exciting for you so you can stay awake during the show?
You know it's not about the excitement level.
Right. I mean, usually I can keep him awake when I give him the solitaire on the or the Sporkle.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
He didn't even have the energy for Sporkle.
Right. All right, well, I'll go back in your office and try and stay awake.
I will.
Really, it's awful.
Scott, no fucking around. We had a deal. Deal's off. Shut my fucking camera. We had a deal that Mike. No, seriously, this is a fucking. Wait a minute. Bottom line, we had a deal that you could leave my camera on all the time, and what goes on in there is for me. When I hit that button's on. So now you go. No, it's done. You now have to figure out a way to get that mechanism back the way it was. I don't want my camera on 24/7. It's done. I'm saying that we made a deal, and this is. I don't want this used, Doug. I really don't. So if that's going to be that, then let me leave.
Let me ask you one more thing.
Hold on, no, because now I can't. Hold on.
For you.
Is this being used or not?
I have no idea.
The answer is no. The answer is no. I don't want it used.
Scott, how would Howard know about it unless you showed it to him? You're wrong. It's a complete and utter betrayal. You can't be trusted. You're a fucking liar, and you don't know how to apologize.
I'm not a liar. I am not a liar.
You're an absolute. Did you?
No, you're a liar.
Wait,
There you go. What do you want, Ralph?
Oh, God. This is fantastic. Gary fell asleep.
Asleep. Wait till you see the tape. The teeth and the lips and the gums are going all at once.
You know, I don't get I have satellite, so I don't get Howard TV, but I think I'm going to switch.
And I told Gary, I said, you were sleeping during the show. He goes, before he knew I had the tape, he goes, no, I wasn't, boss. I closed my eyes.
Howard, I was being genuine. I swear to God, I didn't think I was out.
Right.
And by the way, I'm not taking any shit from a guy who just woke up.
Sorry, dude. I wasn't sleeping during. I don't go to Howard's house and fall asleep. But anyway,
you just throw up.
I got to defend Gary a little.
Made me throw up.
Just go to his house and vomit all over his bed.
Hey, Gary, I'm trying to defend you. Shut up a minute. Go back to sleep. You know, these guys in Howard TV, they're still not owning what they did. What they did was betray him. They had a camera on him all the time, and like Doug comes in and goes, you know, we had to come.
All right, we've been through this, Ralph. It's enough.
But I've also been told when I've been there not to tell Gary that the camera's on. So it's like a whole thing that's been going on.
All
It wasn't like an accident.
Thank you. Of course not. Thank you. Hell knows what he's talking about. All the new interns are openly laughing at Gary's sleeping video right outside his office. Now, I don't approve of that.
And here they are trying to have this, experience of learning what it's like to work here.
Well, how do you think I could sleep at home? First of all, Mary's in the bed. Murphy's in the bed. What are those two cats' names?
Oh, God, I forget.
Socko and Vanzetti.
Socko and Vanzetti are in the bed.
Boo and Pumpkin.
Boo and Pumpkin are in the bed. The kids are in the bed. Boff, where am I supposed to sleep? You know what he did? He ate 7 fucking black and white cookies, and he went on a sugar high.
That is absolutely positively true.
Right.
That's really what happened.
Passed out like a junkie.
It's like the Twinkie defense.
All right, what else are you going to discuss? Doug, you're in...
Now, can I point one last thing out?
Yeah.
John Hein and Will Murray saw the tape yesterday, and not one of them said, do not give it to Howard.
It's not their responsibility, asshole. They made me no promise. See, you're a fuckhead. You really are a dumbass fuckhead.
So your good friend John Hein, in a way,
It's
betrayed
not.
you as well.
They did never promise me they wouldn't run the tape. You won't take responsibility for anything. You're just such a fucking
All right,
Nazi.
I was trying. I'm sorry.
But see, Howard, this is what maddens me about Scott.
Yeah, he can never be wrong. You're right.
Whether it's his politics, the way he raises his kids, or life in general, he's always right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Scott, enough. I mean, you basically, you're not owning it.
I'm wrong, and I won't produce a tape next time.
Right.
But.
No buts. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But Doug Goodstein did it too.
The Howard Stern Show ends, and the wrap-up show begins. Welcome to the wrap-up show.
We talk about Kathy Griffin. We have to talk about this fight Scott Depace and Gary had.
And Doug Goodstein.
Let me set it up for you if you missed it. apparently Howard TV had some video of Gary nodding off a little bit in his office, but there was an agreement, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong here, there was agreement long before that there could be a camera in Gary's office, provided that stuff like that isn't used for the air. Because the purpose of the camera is for when Gary gets on mic.
If I could be give a little bit more minutiae and details, in the old over terrestrial radio, whenever I talked on the air, I would push the button for the microphone, which would trigger the camera. Mm-hmm. It's a mechanism. It's a piece of equipment. We tried to get that installed here, and they had trouble with it. It's not TV's fault. It was actually radio's fault, trying to figure out how to do that. So Scott said to me, I'm going to work on it, but I'll tell you, for the time being, I need to leave the camera in your office. I need to leave it on all the time. And I was like, I don't really like that idea. And he said, I promise you, we'll never use anything except when you push the button to talk on a microphone. And I said, okay.
Scott, did you make that promise?
I did, but I remembered a little differently.
Well, how do you remember it?
I remember that conversation happening 13 years ago or whatever back at the old place. I don't remember us having.
But it didn't because it wasn't. The camera was never on me all the time. We definitely have that conversation here. But
you were hesitant to put a camera in even in the old place, and that's when I made that thing to you.
But see, then you made it twice because when we were here and you said I have to leave it on you the whole time.
Fine, I made it.
Now, Gary. People are having trouble understanding why you're so pissed off at Depace.
Because he made me a promise, and he went back on it. I always trusted that I could do... In other words, if I shut the door in my office, you shut the door for a reason. If anybody has a camera on them for 6 hours a day, they may do something that somebody can find something, especially here, to fuck with. So I always felt like, okay, the camera's on. I'm doing them the favor because they need the footage for the TV show, but I know they have my back. I know they won't fuck me.
And?
They fucked me.
Scott?
It was too funny. I'm sorry. We, the whole control room, including John Hine.
I'm not in your control room.
You came back. You watched the tape. You laughed your ass off.
I saw it. I laughed, and I said...
Gary's your great friend. If he were a great friend, you could have said
Don't deflect on me. I said that's a tough decision for you guys to make.
Oh, so...
Quote.
So why would it be a tough decision, then, if it's so clear...
But why are you throwing this on a guy who has... Hold on, let me finish the sentence. Why are you throwing this on a guy who has absolutely... no say in the decision.
Because he's such a good friend of yours. But you would think he would say, don't do that to Gary.
And you wouldn't have listened. What do you give a shit? He's just a guy talking.
No, in other words, I might have listened.
No, you're deflecting.
No, you wouldn't have.
And I do have to say...
You're such a liar. You're such a liar. Bullshit. If I told you don't air that, you'd be like, okay, I'm not going to air it now.
And I don't...
You're such a liar. I'm on Gary's side. Jesus.
But I don't care who knew about it after the fact, because John never promised me he'd never show it, and Teddy never promised me he'd never show it. So I don't have an agreement with those guys. The other thing that you guys think makes me feel better, which is so much more insulting, is when you talk about how you labored over the decision. We knew it was wrong, and we labored over the decision. Like, I'd almost feel better if you go, God, we forgot we had that conversation with you. We didn't think you'd care.
And you guys actually said to me, if we want to put all the cards on the table, you said to me, don't let Gary know. Don't tip off Gary. I know he's your friend. Don't do it.
I don't recall saying that.
Well, the Howard TV control room.
Well, you as a good friend should have said, I have to.
Me as a good friend realizes where I'm working, and ultimately, it ain't my call. It's yours and it's Doug's.
Well, this is not on John at all.
No, it really isn't. Well, we said don't say anything because we weren't sure what the hell.
And he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were protecting you, saying don't say anything, because we were thinking of still killing the tape.
No, let's stop this conversation. It's derailed. Hold on, John.
You want Gary to be pissed at Will and I.
Right.
And you're totally
deflecting.
The conversation has been derailed into a John Will thing when it's a Doug Scott thing. God knows who else.
And the big issue was Scott not apologizing, not admitting he was
bullshit.
wrong.
I did, and every time I'm on this wrap-up show, Gary goes, "What's the last thing you were wrong about? What's the last Democrat you voted for?" And that's just not I don't go around with a recorder. I was wrong, and I said it. But I wasn't wrong.
It took you a long time to get to I was wrong without addendums. I was wrong, but I don't understand why Gary's overreacting.
Well,
that's not really an apology.
You were pointing me out. Gary came right back to our control room, starts yelling at me after the
because you're the one I had the conversation with.
You had it with a bunch of us.
No, I had it with you. You're the one who came to me when we came to Sirius and said, I can't get you to this button to work.
I'm wrong again.
No, but you're the one I had the conversation with.
All right.
Scott, Gary feels ultimately you betrayed his trust.
The truth of the matter is, I never had that conversation with Doug. I just know that if Scott's doing it, that they've had that conversation, and I'm trusting Doug to know better. But I had the physical conversation with Scott.
And I tell you what, if I had known that this would have went towards me, and only me, I would have told Doug don't, because it's going to fall on me.
But see, that's even more insulting. It's not about whether you betrayed a trust. It's if you knew you were going to take all the blame, you wouldn't have done it. That's what you just said.
If I knew I was going to get caught, there's no way I would ever do it. Oh, Jesus, Scott. No, what I'm saying is if it's a group effort and everyone's going to be blamed, well, then I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. But if it's just going to be for me, why am I going to throw myself out there? That's why I'm a little bit mad at Howard. Howard knew that the tape was there and how we got it. He could have said, you know what? I'm not, just like in a good court case, a judge will say that's inadmissible evidence, we're not using that.
Scott, how long have you directed the show?
16 years now.
Do you think that Howard would refuse to play a tape like that?
No, but don't also
don't
at the same
like
time,
Howard's going to be like, no,
but at the same time, he can't come off like holier than thou and that we were really wrong to do it.
No,
you're in a way doing the same thing.
You were wrong.
You wanted me to come on the show to talk about this, but at the same point, if it's so wrong, let's just bury it.
You were wrong to betray his trust. That's what Howard was saying.
Right. He said, hey, I'm glad you gave me the tape, but Gary's right. You made a deal and you broke the deal.
But I guarantee you right now, if... You know, he would almost encourage me to break that trust again to get something.
You're right. And I'm encouraging... So I'm saying that if you want my trust... Then how do you expect me to trust you again? Seriously. Like, if you come to me with something similar in a couple of weeks, why would I agree to anything like that, knowing that if enough time goes by, because that appears what it seems to be.
I would like to put into evidence that there's been numerous occasions that I have saved Gary where I've noticed he wasn't listening to something and Howard's calling for him, and I was able to look at his camera and see that he wasn't paying attention, and I would say, hey, Gary, Howard's talking to you.
And that's great. I appreciate that. But I don't think one has anything to do with the other.
Well,
I mean, it's also for the good of the show. And it's good, and I appreciate that. But I'd rather have Jason go, Gary, tune in. Like, sometimes I'm in talking to salespeople or whatever, and you go, hey, he's talking about something.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Jason fill me in.
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get yelled at. That you're not listening.
Again, but one has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah, but Scott, you're saying if the material is good enough, then all those bets are off. Like, I know you've done it in the past before, and you saved Gary, quote unquote.
Really?
But you're saying this was too good to pass up.
If I had saw Gary, stealing something, or I can't think of an example, but doing something really bad, I thought this was innocent enough. He obviously knows Gary works hard, so I didn't feel it was a big deal.
First of all, it's not your decision to make to decide what bothers me or not. And Scott goes, it was all good fun and everything like that. And I go, but you know what? Like, Howard sort of said it as a joke, and I've never done anything like this before, but he's like, now I know Gary sleeps on the job. And whether that's a joke or not, that hurts me here.
I did say, Gary, in Gary's defense, we've been looking, I've seen you for 4.5 years in that monitor, and again, I don't sit there and micromanage it and microscope it, but that was the first time ever.
Because it's the first time I've ever done it. I've never been that tired before I was the other day.
Ted, hit clip number 1.
Sorry to wake you up, Ted.
Dude, cop to it. You fell asleep during the show.
I didn't fall asleep, but I was extreme.
Liar.
I didn't fall asleep. I was tired, and I definitely closed my eyes.
Want to see the tape?
I was never out. Okay.
Dude, you were snoring and licking your chops.
First of all, you can't tell I was snoring because there's no sound on.
No. Look, tell me, are you asleep?
I'm not asleep.
All right, here, Robin, look. Watch the video.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a video. He ain't moving. He's dead out.
That's
I do look out, I'll tell you that.
He looks dead.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? We would have probably rushed you to the hospital if we had seen you.
You're asleep, guys.
But I didn't eat every cookie.
But do you deny you're sleeping there?
I didn't think I was, but it looks like I am. And that's exactly how I feel. I never felt, when I was doing it, I never felt like I fell asleep. But looking at it, it sure as hell looks like I'm sleeping.
Did you feel completely sandbagged at that point?
Well, like Howard said that I was trying to lie because I didn't think he had the tape. Once it happened, I knew he had the tape. So I really didn't feel like I'd fallen out, but I had. Of course I felt sandbagged.
I really don't think we should be playing that tape. We should kill it.
Why?
Because I've done it wrong, and I want to fix it.
No, you're just being goofy. It's out now.
John, why are you playing it, John?
What? The clip? Because it's out there.
And while it's being played, you're laughing?
It's funny. Because it's funny, and we wrap up everything that happened on today's show. Let's talk to Mike in Kansas. Mike, you're on the wrap-up show.
What are we doing today, guys?
What's up, Mike?
The reason why I'm calling is, number one, I think Scott really stabbed Gary in the back. I think he did it on purpose. He wouldn't have shown that tape to Howard unless he knew Howard was going to show it, you know what I mean? But in the same sense, Gary, I love you to death, but I think you're kind of a hypocrite, too.
Well, how so?
Because you had a fit and went nuts and everything else about the Benji thing, about Benji showing up late to work, but here you're sleeping on the job. So, I mean, I love you to death, but I still think that's wrong.
Hey, Mike, there's no doubt in my mind that what I did was wrong. I have never done it before, and I haven't done it repeatedly. So you're right. What I did was wrong. I don't think I'm being a hypocrite because I'm fessing up to it, and I'm also apologizing for it immediately instead of trying to make excuses for it like Benji was doing for a while. But Benji was late numerous times. You know, if I get caught sleeping one more time, I should be fucking yelled at and more.
Yeah, that I understand. I mean, Benji was more in the wrong because he was late numerous times, and it only happened once with you. But still, you fessed up to it, which is good and everything else. But my main concern was Scott because he really stabbed you in the back, and he's supposed to be a friend, and he showed that tape to Howard knowing that Howard was going to show it.
Yeah, I mean, Scott's in, I think this is going to be a deep insult to him. You're in Stuttering John territory. John would throw you under the bus and then explain to you how he almost did you a favor. You know what I mean? Like, oh, come on. How could you be mad about that? I mean, he talked about you for 10 minutes and talk about the book.
And, Scott, you feel like you're being unfairly blamed. I mean, you accept what you did, but you shouldn't be the one being yelled at, right?
I just feel like I know why I'm being blamed because I'm the one who had to deal with Gary, but at the same point, I had a control room full of people.
But you're either in charge or you're not.
Well,
I have a room full of I have a room full of people a lot too, and I value their opinion. But at the end of the day, I am responsible for the final decision.
Can I tell you how the whole thing went down? Sure. Matt, our engineer, is looking through. His job is to look through all the cameras to see what's going on. He looked through Gary, saw that he was sleeping. He alerted us. Doug then made the decision to throw a tape in and tape it.
Now, which, by the way, is the right decision. Because you can always because you can always decide later whether you want to use it. You can never go back and get the moment.
Okay.
I'm serious. You can't once the moment's gone.
All right.
You can't discuss it.
So then he has this tape, which is we watch it and it's very funny. He asked me then to zoom in on it so we get a better angle of it. I do that. We tape that. Now he's got this tape. He could have threw it away in the garbage can. He took it to Howard.
Without you?
I went in there just to explain the camera angle.
Hold on.
How did you guys tell Howard about this? Because Gary's in the studio all the time.
There was that one moment. Gary just wasn't in there. And I said, let me, I'll tell him what's going on.
Now, if you couldn't have gotten it in for like a week, would you still, you would have stuck with it till you got it to Howard, right?
It was evergreen.
Right. Doug would have emailed it to Howard over the weekend.
And how did Howard react when you presented it to him?
Like we were giving a puppy a bone.
But but you didn't show it to him, did you?
No, he never saw it. That was the first time he saw it on the air. Yeah. But I explained the situation in detail. It was very clear. And again, I know that holds no water because it's like giving a heroin addict heroin. It's what you said.
And he was able to spin it real quick. He came right. We told him literally like 2 seconds before break. And right away he came back with, Gary's just not, he's not sleeping enough at night. He's
getting old.
That's brilliant how he formulated the angle he was going to take so fast. It's amazing. He's amazing.
And now I'm the bad guy.
Steve in Cleveland, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, I just wanted to slap Baba Booey on the back. Great job today getting caught, busted for sleeping. I mean, I love you, guy. But you got to say that this has got to be the 7-10 split for Scott. This being the first part of it, and the next split is going to be, did you eat the booger or not? Because the montage is going to be coming.
No.
If he's willing to,
there really isn't anything else.
Yeah, you guys got tape of him eating the booger.
Well, here's a question. Steve actually brings up a point. Do you have do you record my camera?
No, but sometimes your ISO your camera will end up in an ISO when we're switching between ISO.
No, only when you're on.
But
We've
very,
never
very
recorded it when.
So there's not a lot to go back and look. There is some stuff to go and look at, but not a lot.
We could find.
I mean, in other words, it's not 6 hours a day to look at.
No.
No, the only time it's in, literally being recorded, besides this one example, is when Howard's talking to you.
Right. And when Howard's talking to me, I know I'm on.
Right.
Yeah.
Lou in Florida, you're on the wrap-up show. Hey, Lou.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
What's going on, bro? You guys kick ass. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
Also, I wanted to call about the lack of thick skin that I see on the show. It's everybody. I mean, Howard picked on Gary for like 10 minutes. He's crying, hey, don't use my video. Also, we used to pick on Jackie for an entire day. Jackie would miss a day. You guys would be like a pack of wolves just riding him.
Yeah, but Lou, you're saying that I got mad today. How much shit have I put up with over the years? And even, Howard did his solitaire rap on me and whatever. How much shit have I put up with? I've never put my foot down. I take the shit.
Yeah, but you take it worse coming from, and I pointed this out before, anyone below you in a way. I'm below you. You're
that's not true. You're actually not below me. If anything, you're lateral to me.
No. As far as the show hierarchy goes, obviously. And you don't take it as well from someone below you. If Fred were doing this to you, it would be different.
No, I've gotten mad at Fred. I probably haven't said it to Fred, but I've gotten mad at Fred.
I talked to Gary off the air, and I apologize, and I think we're cool.
Yeah.
But I get a sense that you hold grudges. I really do. And maybe it is for people that are maybe not lateral to you, or you have a bone to pick with.
I actually don't think I hold grudges.
Yeah, like I forgive and forget pretty quickly.
No, I mean, I'll remember it, but I don't know. Remembering it, and like I said, if you guys came to me in 6 months and said, let's do something, I'd be like, probably not. But I don't know. Is that a grudge?
Let's do something.
Yeah. No, because it's
6 months.
If you guys came to me in 6 months and said, "Hey, we want to do something where we promise we won't use it, but we want to do this thing," I'd say, "You know what? Let's just figure out a different way to do it." But a grudge would be, to me, a grudge is that I try to block you guys at every point that I can, and I take it out on you and everything. I don't think that would be taking it out on you.
Let me ask you this: let's say this weekend you were having a party at your house. Would I be on the list?
Well, you weren't going to be on the list before this.
See?
Of course, yes. In other words, if you were on the list and this happened, would you still be on the list? Of course.
Scott, how would, if Fred did this to Gary, how do you think it would go down? Like, what's the difference?
I think he would have taken it. Howard would have been on Fred's side. It's a whole different
See, I disagree. Fred making fun of me is different than Fred. Fred and I had a conversation. I said, Fred, there's this tape of me. I know you know about it, but I'm begging you not to play it. And Fred says, Gary, I promise you I'll never play it. And then because 6 years went by and he thinks that I'll think it's funny now and he plays it, that I would be mad.
Wait a minute. Hold on, then. I just came up with the best example. How about Stutter and John's audition tape to Scott the Engineer? He did that. Right?
Yeah, probably wrong.
Can I fess up to one thing that crossed my mind?
I had nothing to do with that. I didn't even know about it.
Oh, like you don't like
it. I gotta say, I didn't even know that tape existed. Scott was so thrilled that he had a piece of gold that would make him look good, he completely bypassed me and brought it right to Howard.
Do you think Scott made the right call there?
Yeah, because it's the show. And it made a lot of people laugh. And that
but you're not the one being laughed at. I sort of understand that John was pissed about it.
Yeah, can I tell you one thing that crossed my mind, and it honestly did? I was going to say, shoot, do I tell Gary about this tape? And then immediately what came into mind was the whole thing with Jared Fox and how that turned on him with, what was that thing with
the rat?
With the whole rat. And then I was like, what the hell do we do here? So, and also, what would, hypothetically, if we had a camera, let's say, on Scott in the control room every day, and the same deal, he only is on camera when he spoke on air. And you had a monitor, and you saw him, pull an ass snapping out of his ass.
It depends on what our deal is. In other words, if we don't have a deal not to talk about it, Scott knows there's a camera on him, he's doing dumb shit.
You had a deal.
If we had a deal, I wouldn't, because I got to tell you, even, I talk about this all the time. Stutter and John had this, what did they say, honor among thieves? John was really good. If you said to him, this is not for the air, he'd never fuck you. But there were times you'd be talking to him, and you would just assume that the content was so sensitive he would know, and I would be, John, how could you have talked about it? You didn't say not for the air. But if you said not for the air, he would never screw you.
Right.
Here's the thing with Howard, though. I've been working with him for, 16 years now. And what I've learned, he really is a genius at I never know which way he's going to go on a certain thing. You can be at a party and think nothing went on. The following morning, he's got 3 hours of material on it. This one here, I swear, I think it's because Gary got to him first and told his side off the air after the tape had been shown, that he then came back and took Gary's side. I could see him easily taking my side in that and just saying, Gary,
I disagree. I think because Howard has the same thing going on with you guys. He trusts you guys when he's in commercial, when he's snotting from his nose or doing whatever he does, that he wouldn't want to be on camera. He trusts you guys not to show that to people, so he understands it. I think that even if you'd have gotten there first, I think he still would have sided with me. Listen, he's not saying, well, I guess he is saying you shouldn't have given him the tape because you made a deal.
Yeah, he kept saying, Gary, you're right.
So really, I made the biggest mistake I made was making the deal. I should have just said, Gary, we need a camera there.
If you didn't make the deal, I would have said, then there's no camera.
And then Howard probably would have said, listen, it's part of the show.
No.
You're a celebrity on the show. And
I would have said, Howard, he doesn't even get involved in that minutia, and you know it. And I would have said, Howard, I don't want a camera on me all day long. Do you want one on you? And he'd go, no, you're right. Guys, figure out something else.
Wheels, you're on the wrap-up show.
Gary, what about low sperm Murray? Aren't you mad that your underling said God didn't show Howard?
But they don't.
But still, don't you think he should have had your back?
Dude, everyone in this place would have said to show Howard.
Yeah, I mean, if I were on the other side, I might have been the same way. I mean, it's a funny piece of tape.
Right, exactly. If we had Sal sleeping or someone who had a camera on them, Gary, you would have been the first in there saying, oh, my God, we got this great piece of tape. You know that. The
thing that bothers me is, again, I say, I knew I was tired. I knew I was closing my eyes, and I knew there was a camera on me. I knew all of those things. But I said, I don't have to worry because I know they won't fuck me.
So are you going to have a sense of paranoia in your office from now on, or is the camera off?
I pulled the plug out of the camera. First I turned it around, and then they tried to be cute, and every time they went to me, the camera was facing my cabinet. So they were waiting for Howard to go, what's going on with the camera? That didn't work. So then I just pulled but he didn't give a shit. Then I got so mad, I just pulled the plugs out of the camera, and then so I told them that there's no camera in my office until they figure out a way to do it.
And as a result, Howard was talking to you, and he couldn't talk to you anymore. I mean, he talked to you, but he couldn't see you. And
yeah, but that's for the TV. I don't give a shit about. I mean, I care about the TV show, but it's my first priority to the radio show. It doesn't change the content of the radio show.
No. Most of he gets out of that visual. He gets something. He likes looking at you. He literally sometimes.
Well, then you should fix it.
Well, we're working on it.
I mean, don't blame. It's not my fault that you guys can't get it right.
Well, you should just deal with it for now.
Gary, don't you get in trouble for playing solitaire or no?
Yes, I got in trouble for playing. I didn't get in trouble. I was embarrassed.
You still play it, though?
No, I don't still play it.
All right. Stop cheating, too. You're supposed to flip 3 cards at a time.
Oh, whatever.
Thanks, Wheels.
I'm trying to make it's like the TV guy crossword puzzle. I'm trying to make myself feel smart.
So will that camera go back on?
When it's set up correctly, it'll go back on.
I mean, listen, I have a box, and we need to wire it into an RTS system, and we got to figure out if we can.
Well, you know what, man? You got all day tomorrow to work on it.
Well, it's not going to happen that quick. It'll be weeks, I'm sure.
Why weeks?
Oh, first we got to find the box. It was made 4.5 years ago. We got to track it down. I've already put an email in.
Okay, so if he finds it this afternoon, then what?
Then from there, we need to basically open up this RTS box, solder some wires in there.
Right.
And I'm not going to do it. The radio guys are going to do that.
Okay.
And then we need to test it, make sure it works. But I'm
coming tomorrow and test it.
We will if we
need you to
box.
come in, too.
I got a blow-up of me that you can use. You can use Ronnie. Use the cutout of Ronnie. Yeah.
Adrian, St. Louis, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi, guys. I think Depace knew he was wrong right off the bat. There was something that Depace said that I don't think anyone picked up on. When Gary first tried to explain to Depace why he was upset on the air, Scott turned to Howard and he said, when I brought this to you, you promised you wouldn't allow Gary to get rid of the camera, and now you're letting him get away with it.
You're right.
So he knew he was wrong right off the bat because he tried to make sure that Gary couldn't retaliate when he first brought it to Howard.
Yeah, I knew, you're absolutely right. I knew Gary would react this. I didn't think he would react this strongly, but I did think that he would try to get rid of the camera, and I thought Howard would see the importance of the camera and argue on my side. Instead, he went the other way.
But here's where you lose that one. I'm not saying no camera ever. I'm saying figure out how to get it right. You can have the camera on me as much as you want when I'm on the air. If you figure out a way to do that, I'm not like turn my camera off. Like
we'll put a baseball hat over it for now.
Gary, are you upset that the seed has been planted in Howard's head that you may be dozing off because they have this?
Of course I am. Of course. Now it's out there. Like both the guys came to me and apologized, and they said, like, if we ever thought We would never do anything that would compromise your job or get you fired or anything like that. And I'm like, dude, it's a negotiation year. You're not helping me.
Whoa. See, this is the hypocrite part. Because I've, God, at least 5 times I feel like I've been on this show where someone like Jason or Gary is questioning my work ethic. And I don't enjoy that.
Questioning it is one thing. Proving it is another. And you proved that I slept on the job. Well, you tried
to throw me under today by saying I left early on Thursday. You tried to say that I work on my video caddy stuff. I mean,
there's perception versus lies. If I question your work ethic, that's a perception. If I say you left early, that's the truth.
I left early, and that is the truth. I left early Thursday.
The weird thing about the day that you left early, you know what the weird thing about that was?
I know. Jason went and tried to tattletale on me.
No. What happened was...
And you knew. I found all about it.
No, it wasn't like that at all. What happened was...
Piece of shit.
I just walked back there and I said, "Where's Depace?" And everybody, it was the weirdest thing. Everybody just got silent and looked straight ahead, and so it was immediately obvious something weird was going on. You know what I mean? It was obvious that someone was told not to talk about it because no one. And I go,
that's not true.
And then no one was. It's funny because when you came to me, you said, "Where's Depace?" I said he went away with his family on vacation. He had to leave.
But I had asked several people before, and everyone was like. He's and I was like, what? I think he's I'm not sure. You're gonna have to ask Doug. It was like a big conspiracy.
They told me they said I went to the bathroom.
Yes, that is. And then because I actually came back to talk to just shoot the shit with you about something.
Oh bullshit!
I did
because I already heard that Jason was the guy. He went back and saw, and then he went and told you.
No, that might be true.
And then you went and tried to investigate. That's so true. You were trying to, I'm not sure whether you.
But I never said to you. But if you came to me and you said, Gary, I need to leave early. I'm going on vacation.
But I don't have to.
But I'm just saying, if you said that to me, and you said, don't make a big deal of it on the air, I would say, I understand, I respect it.
And then you'd go right on the air.
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
I wouldn't.
Well, I don't know.
We've all been there where we've had stuff.
That's no big deal. I mean, he went away.
We
had
got
coverage.
it.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right, Ted, let's take a break. When we come back, more on this. Plus, Kathy Griffin stops by. Howard's disgusted by Cronin's wedding registry. Tim puts his PowerPoint before Gary's podiatrist appointment. Everything that came up on today's show. This is the place we talk about at the wrap-up show, and you're listening to it on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Hey, this is Peter Griffin, and you're listening to John Hine and Gary Delabate on the wrap-up show.
Welcome back to Wrap Up. John, Gary, Scott, Doug, Teddy, Steve, 888-STERN-100, 888-783-7610. And before we move on to some other things that happened on the show, we got a couple calls I'd like to take to clear things up. We'll start with Kenny in Vegas. Kenny, you're on the Wrap-Up show.
Gary, I love you, but you fell asleep. You generated the ultimate mistake. It's all on you, Gary.
So somebody's word doesn't mean anything?
Well, you fell asleep. Most people get...
No, I got you. I'm with you. Absolutely the ultimate mistake. But does that mean that somebody's word... If it's so good for the air, that means that somebody's word goes out the window?
Well, unfortunately, in this case it did, but you do have a right to never trust him again, and I wouldn't. I think he's a piece of shit. But ultimately, I would have got fired from my job. Falling asleep. Ultimately, you threw that rock in the pond that made the ripples. You can't get mad at the ripples.
Yeah, no, but I could get mad at the guy that carried the photo of the ripples.
That's true. This is true.
Don't I have some sort of responsibility to bring that to the show?
Ultimately, in this day and age, people get mad when they hear about people falling asleep at work. I'm like, I would kill for that job. What's he doing falling asleep?
Getting up too early, staying up too late, eating too many cookies.
All right, thank you, Kenny. And Gary, one thing you did when you were in there that we were all laughing at, you talked about how you didn't eat all the cookies. You must have said that at least 4 times. We were all like, Gary's trying to get out of this. He's trying to deflect.
I wasn't trying to deflect. I really got mad that they said I ate all the cookies, because I didn't eat all the cookies. I ate a lot of cookies, but I didn't eat all of them. I didn't even eat half of them.
You should explain, too, what 7 black and white cookies means, because people are thinking those huge black and white cookies.
So every Wednesday, it's Cupcake Wednesday, but then we get, I never know what those things, the tricolor cookies, those rainbow cookies that are really good, a bunch of, baklava, is that what it's called? Rugula. And then we get black and white cookies, but they're small. They're the size of like a small chocolate chip cookie. Like if you bought Chip Roos, they're about that size. But they're awesome, black and white cookies. And they are hands down my... If the black and whites weren't there, I probably wouldn't even have a cupcake on Wednesday. I wouldn't even give a shit.
How many did you have? 7?
At least.
That's probably equivalent to 1 big one, like a normal big one.
I probably had 1.5 big ones, but still, I definitely... I was woozy on sugar, no doubt.
Little sugar high.
I have been eating as much sugar as that for a long time, too. Hello, Ralph.
Hey, now.
Uh-oh. Okay, this is where I flipped the coin. Because I know he was with me this morning, but he's had time to think, so I don't know which way it's going to go. Ralph, I genuinely have no idea what your agenda is.
I think it's going on me.
So go ahead.
Oh, good, Gary, you're up. Listen, sorting through all the bullshit going on there and all the deflection, Gary, you're upset that you got caught, which is understandable. And Doug and Scott are equally blamed there. I think you're letting Doug off the hook a little bit and kind of throwing it on Depace more. They're both equally to blame. There's a huge invasion to be recorded when you don't know you're recorded. I would be fucking nuts. I would be choking these guys.
Yeah, listen,
but then on the other level, I want to thank them for giving me the best ammunition ever. Because all I have to say to you now is, are you up or whatever?
Right.
I mean, it writes itself.
That's not funny, Ralph.
What's not?
You saying that?
That you betrayed Gary like that and you're a snake?
Ralph, why is Doug why don't you think Doug's getting his fair share here?
Hey, listen, I admitted to it. I said I'm wrong and I apologize. Listen, but again, it was like that scene from Animal House with the devil and the fucking angel. It's like that's what was going through the head.
It's kind of like apologizing for stabbing somebody in the heart. I mean, you just can't apologize and be done with it, you know?
Well, you can't.
You got to do your time. There's got to be some consequence to your action.
Ralph, you can't apologize and be done with it. But there were two things that went on with Scott in particular that were difficult for me. First of all, he's the one I spoke to directly. He's the one I had the pact with. And the other thing was, when I went in there and I got mad at him, he just, Doug was like, hey, man, we're really sorry. Scott just laughed right fucking back. He's like, you're a fucking hypocrite, and this is bullshit. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe he doesn't think he's wrong.
Ralph, if you were in the control room and you knew all the backstory with the conversations, and you were in that yesterday morning and saw it, and we said, Ralph, you don't say anything, wouldn't you have run right into Howard and told him?
Oh, God, yes. I would make a special out of it.
Yeah, Ralph's really not.
I'm sorry you didn't get the tape in earlier, but, I mean, that's not the point. Like, that's another deflection.
No, it's not. I acknowledge. I apologize on the air many times.
Ralph's not the barometer of a moral compass.
Oh, come on.
No, but, I mean, in other words, you don't really care as much in other words, if I got mad at you, I don't think you care as much as if maybe somebody else got mad at you.
Yeah, well, I'm on your side saying it's a betrayal. I mean, you just can't, that's a huge invasion. I'd go nuts if I was being recorded unbeknownst to me. You know what I mean? Well, and then I'm sitting there sleeping through the show.
I've learned my lesson. It won't happen again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Gak, can we use the tape? We haven't really settled that.
I know. Because I went in there and I yelled at them in the control room, and I said, don't fucking use this.
Oh, come on. You got it. That was clack. That was great.
Everyone's as real as real.
Yeah. Use it. I mean, because it's nothing. It's nothing that I haven't said here or on the air. So, yeah, use it.
Can I read an email I just got?
It's already out there.
What, from one of your cousins who supports you?
Facebook fan. Great work with Sleeping Buoy. Scott, normally you're a douche, but you did a great job today.
Oh, that's a great compliment, Scott.
Fans like
just typed that to him.
Maria in Maine, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi, guys. I love the show. I have a question. Gary, if the Howard TV guys had come to you with the tape rather than bringing it directly to Howard, would you have said, okay, go ahead, use it, it's really funny, or would you have squashed it?
I probably would have initially said no. They might have been able to wear me down. I think part of the anger, too, is being blindsided, as opposed to like if I had a day to sort of...
No, what I think what you're missing here is you would be very pissed. It would be a weird place because you'd be very pissed at us for having it.
No doubt. And then after I got past that, I would be like, hey, man.
You couldn't be pissed
I would be like, hey, guys, you said you weren't going to fucking do this. I know, and I might have had more time to think about it. I don't know, but I probably would have been more on the side of saying I didn't want it.
And then we would have gotten slaughtered by Howard. So you can't win that one either. Because he would have been pissed if we went to you and didn't give him that shock value on the air.
Okay. Well, it just seems like Gary's been such a good sport with a lot of things in the past. So I just figured that you might be open to them using it since it is
listen, I still think I'm a good sport. And like I said, if Scott knocked on my door and my door was closed and he opened it, I'm in there sleeping, then that's my tough shit for not locking the door. In essence, our agreement meant the camera was locked. That's how I took it.
All right, thanks, Maria. Hey, Tim, Russ Zapin's upset with you. Did you hear?
Howard 100 News. If you have a speech impediment,
there.
Baba Booey in Dreamland. The controversial video sets off a nasty clash between Gary and Scott Depace of Howard TV. It's Howard 100 News Backstage.
Howard 100 News. Backstage.
No, this is a total shock to me. I was like, when Howard started talking about this, I'm like, whoa, what did I miss yesterday? I'm usually on top of these things, Julie.
Who's to blame? The delicious cupcakes? The heavenly black and white cookies? Or do you just blame the buoy? Howard was given a videotape from Howard TV of Gary passing out at his desk Wednesday. Bolf was not happy, and staffers were very surprised. Jason Kaplan, you saw the video, and Gary's denying he was asleep. What's your opinion?
I mean, if that wasn't sleeping, I really don't know what sleeping is. I mean, that looked pretty sleeping to me.
Should he be punished?
This was I would assume a one-time thing by Gary, so it doesn't really set any sort of example to me. It, just says, hey, the guy was overly tired and slipped up. But, like Benji, if it becomes a weekly thing or a monthly thing, then, yeah, I mean, it just, it does start to set a poor example. But again, I'm going to give Gary the benefit of the doubt. One-time thing.
Will Murray, are you surprised at the news?
Am I surprised? No, I think everybody goes in here and has those moments from time to time where it's just fucking hard to keep your eyes open, man. We're up ass early every day, and it's tough, man.
Ronnie Mund.
Any tips you can give Gary on how to pass out without getting busted at work?
What do you mean?
Like how to take naps, like when you take naps and stuff.
I don't take naps, dude. I fell asleep once.
Once? Come on, Ronnie.
Maybe twice. Dozed off for like 2 minutes. I didn't go out cold.
So you're not going to share your secrets?
There is no secrets. Get Sal and Richard to stand outside your door with a fucking goddamn cymbal and an air horn. Okay, that'll wake you up.
And they'll teach you not to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Next on the list, Gary Delabate.
Gary?
Yes.
Mind if are we awake? Fully awake?
We're always fully awake.
Gary, you denied you were asleep.
I denied it in the sense that I really didn't feel like I fell asleep. I mean, so maybe it looks like I'm asleep, but I never felt like I was out. It could have been 30 seconds.
And you tried to deflect numerous times, and it seemed like Howard wasn't going the cookie route. He wanted to stay on you falling asleep.
No, I was answering the cookie question as well. I don't think I was. That wasn't a deflection.
Did you drop the ball? And does this set a bad example for your staff?
You get up at this hour every day. Everybody's had days where it's hard. And I'm not proud of it. Right. And I won't do it again, but, it happens.
Shul Yegar, Howard 100 News.
People on the street, so Sal and Richard were all charged up. I never saw them work so late. After Gary fell asleep on the air and Scott Depace and the E-Crew, not the E-Crew, whatever we are. On
Howard TV.
Howard TV crew. 20 names. After they exposed Gary falling asleep on the job, and we found out that Gary fell asleep because he ate all the cookies. He ate like 7 or 8 black and white cookies.
Yeah.
So Sal started writing, of course, song parodies.
Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
And then, of course, they started coming up with alarm clocks to wake up Gary.
Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
And then they went on the street and asked people what they thought of Gary falling asleep.
What do you think of the disaster?
Who?
What do I think of it? Twin Towers?
No. Gary Delabate fell asleep on the Howard Stern show. I think he's a jerk. I think he should be fired.
Can you believe that he ate 8 black and white cookies in one sitting? That's why he fell asleep.
Is that a valid excuse to you? No, that is a dumb excuse. If one of your employees found a coworker sleeping, would you appreciate it if he told you, if you were the boss? Absolutely. I was a boss for 12 years.
Now, since you were a boss, what would you have done if you would have caught a coworker sleeping?
Fired him.
Yep, right out the window. Little Mikey got in on it. He's usually running song parodies about you, Robin, but he switched over to Gary.
Wow, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
In the morning, early morning, a monkey sleeps at work. He eats black and white cookies and falls asleep because his tummy hurts.
A lot lot of people were weighing in on the controversy on the street.
So what do you guys think of the disaster?
What disaster? The BP oil thing? No. Gary Delabate fell asleep on the job working for Howard Stern. Oh man. Fire him. Fire him right now.
Get this motherfucker.
You heard me? Fire his ass.
Get this motherfucker out of here.
The show is not that boring, man.
His excuse was that he ate 8 black and white cookies.
The Jewish cookies? That's what he's talking about?
Are those Jewish cookies, black and white?
Black and white cookies are Jewish?
I didn't know that.
But how could you consume 8 at one time? Those are big-ass cookies. You must have a big-ass mouth.
Well, there you go. Everyone is upset that he ate Jewish cookies and that he's falling asleep. And all the song parodies came rolling in.
Wake up, Baba Booey, wake up.
And Gary continues to be mad at Scott Depace.
Is that right?
Yeah. Scott Depace was on the wrap-up show saying that I should be to blame. And you know what? I spoke to Gary over the weekend. Gary was really pissed about it and upset. And I just said to him, Gary, I do take responsibility in this because the guys came to me. He goes, yeah, but it was during the show. I know you. You're like, you get your... I go, no, I take responsibility. The guys came to me. They said the piece of tape. They said it was controversial because it's from your studio and evidently there's a
They
guy.
told you this whole thing, that it was something they weren't supposed to necessarily show you?
Right. My point is, it should have never gotten to you. In other words, they should have said, hey, we promised Gary we wouldn't do this. And you're incorrigible. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, during the show, I am weak. I mean, don't come to me in the middle of a... That's what they do, Doug, that mustache, he's like, I got something great for you. I don't know if we should play it or not. And I heard great tape. Gary's sleeping during the show. Lay it on me, and I accept my responsibility in this. I did it. But Scott
But
DePace,
you had never made a pact.
No, I never made a pact with anybody. I didn't even know this camera existed. But I'll tell you what. I guess I thought about it, and I thought Gary wouldn't mind. But Scott Depace can never... Gary's right about him. Like, just, man up and accept responsibility. He's throwing everyone under the bus on the wrap-up show. It's not my fault. It's this one's fault. It's that one's fault. He's just... he even started blaming John Hein.
How did John get into it?
Listen to Scott blaming... You're not a real man. I thought you were, but you're not. You're kind of a creep.
I'm a total man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're kind of a creep. Listen to him throw John Hein under the bus on the wrap-up show.
If anybody has a camera on them for 6 hours a day, they may do something that somebody can find something, especially here, to fuck with. So I always felt like, okay, the camera's on. I'm doing them the favor because they need the footage for the TV show, but I know they have my back. I know they won't fuck me.
And?
They fuck me.
It was too funny. I'm sorry. We, the whole control room, including John Hein.
I'm not in your control room.
You came back, you watched the tape, you laughed your ass off.
I saw it, I laughed, and I said...
Gary's your great friend. If he were a great friend, you could have said
Don't
to me,
deflect on me. I said, that's a tough decision for you guys to make.
Oh, so...
Quote.
So why would it be a tough decision, then, if it's so clear?
But why are you throwing this on a guy who...
Well,
hold on, let me finish the sentence. Why are you throwing this on a guy who has absolutely... no say in the decision.
Because he's such a good friend of yours.
But
you would think he would say, don't do that to Gary.
And
That's
you wouldn't have
right.
listened.
See what I mean? What about you? I mean, like, you threw it
I
onto
stand
John...
by everything I just said.
But why bring up John Hein? He didn't make the decision.
I bring
You're
up
such a pussy.
everyone.
Gary called me over the weekend to tell me how pissed off he was at you, and he just wanted to, air it out with me. And I said, Gary, see, this is the man I am. I said, Gary, I could sit here and blame Scott and Doug, but honestly, it's my fault. Because the guys did come to me, they laid it out, and I immediately accepted the tape and played it on the air.
Exactly. I'll take my part of the blame.
That's why you're a pussy.
But everyone else is...
No, you don't take that part of the blame. Here he is saying he's mad. Scott can't just say, hey,
It was Goodstein's decision to do this thing in the first place. I was in the middle of directing a segment.
Why are you a
Goodstein sees it happening.
Listen to him.
He puts a tape in. He rolls tape. Everybody in the control room is going crazy that Gary's sleeping. I'm trying to direct the segment.
Listen to this. Here he is. He's mad at Howard. Instead of just taking his own responsibility. I didn't sit and tell Gary I'm mad at you or mad at Doug or mad at... I took responsibility.
I'm a little bit mad at Howard. Howard knew that the tape was
cracked
there.
under pressure.
How we got it. He could have said, you know what? I'm not, just like in a good court case, a judge will say that's inadmissible evidence. We're not using that.
Scott, how long have you directed the show?
16 years now.
Do you think
that Howard would refuse to play a tape like that.
No, but don't
So
also
don't
at the
pretend
same
like-
time.
Don't offer heroin to a heroin addict.
That's right. You know it's going to get played.
But if there's one thing I've learned in 16 years, if I have a tape that's
right. I'd
that
fire
good,
you.
I got to bring it to you.
So I took my responsibility. Take
All
yours.
right.
Stop throwing everyone under the bus.
Well, this show
You're
that
such a
you've
pussy.
created is responsible then
All
because you
right. I'm to blame
corrupted
then.
me.
Somebody else besides him is responsible.
Gary, you are so right about Scott. You're 100.
Can you do me a favor and play the second clip where he explains that he wouldn't have done it if he knew he was going to get shit for it?
You know what? No, I won't play that because I don't even understand why you're so bummed out about that.
Oh, it's so insulting. Instead of saying, hey, I'm sorry I did it, he goes, instead of saying, I'm sorry I wouldn't have done it if I knew it hurt your feelings, he goes, I'm sorry I wouldn't have done this if I knew I was going to get all this blame for it.
Yeah, well, anyway, you're still angry with him, right?
I really am. I spent a lot of time with, like, the more I get to know him, like, okay, I don't agree with his politics, and he can be selfish and stuff. I'm like, Scott's a good guy, but, and I'm sort of running out of buts.
Well, you know what, man?
I think you just, the bad of you is sort of starting to outweigh the good of you in my eyes.
Listen, I totally admit I betrayed you, but at the same point,
you're already talking.
No, bullcrap. Because this is another thing. You had plenty of times where you defended Jason when Jason was giving my work ethic a hard time. Just last week when I left work early. No, listen to me. I was talking.
You can't be trusted. You are a lying cheat. You can't be trusted.
Gary, like you're the first person. Like you're the first person we've done. How many hidden cameras?
I agree with you or not has nothing to do with the fact that you are not a man of your word. You can't be trusted. End of sentence. If our politics disagree, if I defend Jason over you, that's opinion. You're just an out-and-out fucking untrustworthy liar.
Same thing with Goodstein. He knew we had the prior. It was not Scott. Listen to me. It wasn't Scott and Gary having a mess.
You know why you get into trouble?
No, listen to me.
You know why you get into trouble? Because you always you're doing so beautifully. You go, I accept my responsibility in this. And then you go, but. And then
fine. Well, I want to explain some things.
Why?
This was a Howard TV promise.
No,
listen to me.
I know what I did. I'm in on this.
Good.
You are.
Now it's my turn. It was a Howard TV promise to Gary. It wasn't a Scott promise to Gary. And Doug knew about that promise. Doug knew about that promise, and he was
why are you throwing Doug?
Wait a minute.
Because this was Doug's decision, and suddenly Gary yelled to me.
We're talking about you.
He's wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm always right. Remember?
I want to have to take your side, but I mean, just apologize. I said I'm sorry. Like
Goodstein, shut up. Dude, you sat there and let me fall into the bus for this one.
I did.
Bullcrap.
What is it, Gary?
This is where Scott's way off and where he's really fucking pissing me off. And this is where he really lacks any integrity whatsoever. We sat down in the control room when we got here. And he said, listen, you know that thing I had at K-Rock where when you touch the camera, your camera goes on? We can't get that working here. Can I keep the camera on you all the time? And I go, I don't know, Scott. I don't like the idea of that. He goes, I promise you, we will never use anything. That's Scott and I looking face to face, eye to eye.
Understood,
and
but
you're a
Doug
fucking creepy low life.
But Doug knew that existed as well.
Forget Doug. Take Doug out of the equation. What do you want to say to Gary?
I'm sorry.
I actually don't fucking care anymore.
Good.
I actually don't fucking care. Because you know what?
How many times have we
he's
done...
insincere and he doesn't mean it.
Because you had to browbeat.
You had to browbeat the shit out of him to say it. He has no
times?
feelings. He's inhuman.
How many times have we done hidden cameras on the show here? Why all those people? It's okay.
Listen.
That's betraying trust.
Him. He's telling you
I'm not attacking him.
You are.
You are.
I am not. How am I attacking you?
By telling me why I'm an asshole for being mad at you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. Listen.
I didn't know that I just did that, but fine.
Did. Now listen to me.
You guys are unbelievable.
Don't know how to
You're unbelievable. You're really unbelievable.
I apologized to you last week.
You don't mean
and
it.
Let's put it to bed. But you got to keep bringing it up.
I didn't bring it up today.
Yeah, sure you did.
No, I didn't.
Brian Phelan told me right away that
Brian Phelan said, should I put the camera on?
It was
don't
a joke.
Turn on the fucking camera. No, it was not a joke.
Well, to me, he said it, and I laughed.
Well, you weren't here,
go ask
asshole,
him.
so you don't know. It wasn't a joke.
And then he came to you and asked you, and you said Scott Depace is an asshole.
Berating Gary.
All right.
He was betrayed by you.
You look me in the eye and you fucking out and out lied, and you can't live up to it. You can't man up to it or own up to it.
I said I did.
No, you
1,000 times. I said I did betray you.
But 2 minutes ago, you said it was between him and Doug. You had nothing to do with it.
Then it's Howard's fault.
Robin,
What world are these people living in?
The world that you created.
This is crazy. I said I betrayed you 100 times. I said I betrayed you.
But
others betrayed you too.
Howard's fault.
End
But
of
it's Howard's fault. It's Doug's fault.
End of sentence. Now I'd like to start a new sentence.
No.
And that
Don't
sentence.
start it.
Yeah, why not?
Save yourself.
And that sentence says that he's guilty and Doug's guilty as well.
Okay. Why
He
can't
says,
you?
don't just
and
shoot
John
me,
Hine,
shoot them.
Will Murray.
If I had to go
the
to
whole
war, if I had to go to
control
war
room-
with someone, you're the last guy I'd take with
Will
me.
Murray now is in it.
Will Murray watched the tape. Both Will and
Can you believe this?
I don't
they
believe
both
it.
watched
Would
the
you want
tape.
to be in a foxhole with this piece of shit?
Yeah, I
Never.
defend you.
Never go in the foxhole with
You're all about Scott Depace is all about Scott Depace and no one else.
All right, thank you.
And that comes, and that's even in his own fucking family life and his kids. He's all
Bullshit.
about
You
him.
don't know anything about my
I know
family
exactly.
life.
You won't even
Get the
take your
fuck outta
fucking kid to the doctor.
Oh, please.
Oh, please, what?
I took
You're
my
one of
kids
the most
to-
selfish people
This
I've
is what
ever
I
met
did
in my
this past
life.
week. I had 2 baseball games I had to coach.
Yeah,
I took my
because that's
son to
good
a
for you.
Yankee
You enjoy
game.
that. That's fun for you.
How is coaching my kid fun for me?
Well, why would you do it then?
Because I want to see him get better, and I'm a father. That's why.
I think you want your kid to be better, so he makes you proud. It's about you. You're selfish.
yeah. I think I'm going to become famous from Kyle being a pro baseball
And I'm sure I'm not
player.
the first person in your life who's told you you're selfish.
Dave wants to get in on this.
Actually,
Dave from Atlanta, Georgia has a point.
might
Go
be,
ahead,
guy.
Dave.
Hey, good morning, Howard. If you
I won't be
could
the
shut
last.
those two morons up for a second, let me ask you this. How could it possibly be your responsibility when the ape is the one that fell asleep in the first place?
You say Gary deserves blame because he fell asleep.
I think we're losing focus here.
Hold on a second. Howard.
Scott likes that argument too.
Scott likes your logic, Dave.
Howard, what was the... Hold on a second. I want you to tell Scott, what was the real point of my phone call yesterday?
What was the real point of it?
What was the first thing I said to you?
That you were upset.
No. That was the second thing I said
You were
to you.
sorry for sleeping?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do remember.
What was it?
He called to, apologized to say, he really felt awful that he fell asleep at work. He goes, that's not me. I'm telling you, I don't do that ever.
I was embarrassed, and I felt bad, and I wanted him to know that I was sorry it happened, and that's not what my work ethic is about. I just felt bad about it.
Yeah,
Right.
so why be mad at me then?
You didn't blame anybody else? You didn't put anybody else's name in there?
No, I didn't. I said I'm mad about the way it all went down, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who fell asleep. I'm embarrassed by it. I feel bad about it.
All right. Well, there you go.
That's how you take blame, douchebag.
Okay. All right, let me try it one more time. Gary.
Don't.
I'm looking. I apologized to you off air in his office.
I know
last week.
you did, and then you went right into the wrap-up show and said why it's everyone else's
Dude,
fault.
it's not
but
my
yours.
fucking wrap-up show. You guys want me to come in there and just be like, I'm sorry? No, that's boring.
Oh, so you're putting on a show for us
Can
now?
you ever trust Scott again?
No.
With anything?
No. I thought about it.
How can I trust you? The prior week.
Look at you
listen to
attacking
this.
him
Well,
again.
no, this is bullshit. Because the prior week, I left work early, two hours early, because to catch a plane to go on a trip. All right, it was pre-approved by Doug or approved by Doug, and Gary and Jason, the spies that they did. They went back. They found out that I wasn't here, and then they went and tried to tell on me to you.
That's just not true.
Yeah, it totally is true.
Here's what happened.
I've got multiple.
Hold on a second. Calm down. Jason came to me, and he said, Scott Depace isn't there. When I asked everybody where he was, everybody was acting weird. So I went back, and Doug goes, oh, he left early to go on vacation. Done. Over. Didn't come to you. No big deal.
About it.
Never went any further than that.
Bull crap. I heard all about it.
But what, did I tell Howard?
No. That's the only part I don't know.
Because I investigated something that could have been funny for the air, found there was nothing there, and dropped it.
Why did you bring it up twice on the show last?
Because you threw me under the bus, douche.
Again, because you thought it would get me in trouble somehow.
You just fucking played a tape of me sleeping and laughed your ass off. Of course I'm going to pull out every fucking weapon I have. How dumb are you, you bald fuck?
I'm not bald.
You're dumb.
Going bald.
Danny, you're on the air in Philly.
Yes, Howard. How you doing?
All right.
Yeah, I was curious. Do you think Gary ever fell asleep? I got 2 points. Do you think Gary ever fell asleep at a Mets game opposed to working for the greatest radio personality of all time?
Listen, Gary's got a good track record with me. He hasn't fallen asleep.
They've had a camera on him. He hasn't fallen asleep.
Yeah, believe me, they'd be whipping that out right now if he had.
We've never witnessed that before.
Right.
He might have been hibernating from eating all them cookies. And another thing, Howard, I think he was asleep when I was up for April 14th. He gave me a tour. He signed a baseball with his name and he spelled his first name wrong. He left the R out of Gary. What's that spelled?
Gay Delabate.
Yeah, he's got Saga, underneath it Bowie, and underneath it elaborate cursive G. It goes from the A up to the R, but no crossover, to the R. It goes straight down to the
So
Y.
it says Gay Delabate. Wow.
Baba Bowie Gay.
Baba Bowie Gay. Well, you boys, listen, Scott, you don't come off well on this. You don't know
In
how
your
to
opinion. I don't think you come off well every time you take a microphone.
Boy,
I really
do.
Every time you grab the microphone, you.
Oh, there's Gary sleeping in the office.
Oh, jeez.
Sal's got the Gary mask on. There he is.
What's at the bottom? Oh, I see. He put my beard on the mask.
Oh, okay. I wondered what that was, too.
That's funny. All right, guys.
Next time I have the tape, I'm not giving it to you. Sorry.
Well, there is going to be no tape because you're going to somehow figure out how to make the camera work correctly.
Yeah, I'm working
Your
on
job,
that.
it's called. Seriously, figure it out.
Tom, go ahead in Detroit.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Yeah, I just want to tell Gary, man. I love Gary, but he's being such a little baby bitch about this. It's not like you're going to fire him or anything, right?
Right.
No, but it's something that I'm embarrassed about. It's a trust. Listen, I said to the guy, I'll do you a favor if you don't fuck me. And then he fucked me, bent me over the desk and pulled my pants down.
That's gay.
That's romantic.
That's Scott.
Wow. I didn't know I did that.
He iron sheiked you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's it. He humbled me.
All right.
And I would like to also point out that a lot of other people did that to you, too.
Again.
Well, again.
Oh, my God.
I'm not taking this by myself.
Dude,
no way.
Dude.
Bullshit.
Listen, you have your own thing to work out with Gary. Stop being a baby every minute saying Howard did it.
I'm not going to take the full thing. No way.
You're not being asked to take the full thing.
You really aren't.
I'm taking my part of it.
But you haven't.
Tell
You're not.
Scott.
Yeah, I am.
You're throwing everybody under the bus.
I don't care.
But let me tell Scott why Gary has the particular problem with him. He sat with you. He made the deal with
when
you.
he sat with me, it wasn't Scott Depace. It was a representative of Howard
Scott,
TV.
If five guys get
go
together,
run an oil company, you asshole. That's what that sounded like.
If five guys get together and decide to rape a woman, and you go up before the judge, and the judge says to you, "You raped a woman," what are you going to go? Yeah, but they did it too. It wasn't my idea. No, you raped a woman, and you have to go deal with the consequences. You don't sit there and go, but those four guys did it.
And if you
But in a public forum like this, I'm not going to be the only one that takes the
You
rap.
weren't the only one.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
am.
No, you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
the only one bitching
No.
and crying and blaming everyone else. That's
Doug
why we're
sat there
standing
like
here.
a fish and just sat there and let me get
That's
beat.
right. Learn
Bullcrap.
from that fish.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes
I'm
being
not
the
a fish.
He sat there and he said, I'm wrong. I did the
No,
wrong
he
thing.
didn't.
And
He didn't
stopped.
say anything. He sat there and just let me get
No,
beaten.
you don't shut up.
Yeah, well, that's me.
Well, he was
All right.
attacking only you at that point. I would have jumped in, but he was.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. That if he's attacking just me and you made the decision to produce a tape, then you should have jumped in the middle of it.
I had a nice conversation with Gary, very sincere, and I apologize, Scott.
And
Scott,
so did I. All right, Doug. You know what? Well,
I'm not trying to screw you up, but
he's a fish. He's a spineless fish.
Dude,
He puts every.
We know we did wrong. We admitted it. You know.
I admit I did wrong in this. I'm part of it.
It's such a simple thing, Scott. I don't know why this is good. It's great radio, but
I didn't sit and badmouth you or Doug. I took full responsibility.
You know what would be equivalent is when Gary said something to you, you said, hey, they brought me the tape. You just said,
Meanwhile,
look, I take
When
responsibility.
We showed Howard the tape,
All
or
I
we
know is
told Howard.
I got $1,000 on this guy to beat Jason on the IQ test, and I'm losing. I bet you I'm going to lose my money. You're not getting it. You're not understanding.
Well, then, whatever.
I'm fascinated. Like, while he's going down, he's pulling down John Hine, Will. Who did he get his hands on?
He's not drowning
pulled
by
down
himself.
John Hine with you.
John Hine, I forget his exact words, but you got to. He was encouraging us to give it to you.
Yeah, but why are you like? Is
Well,
that
he's
what
such
you
a
want?
good
You have to
friend.
throw-
But again, he didn't do it.
You did it. I did it.
He didn't
Doug
make
did
any
it. If John
promises
Hine
then.
did it, why do you have to? Why do you have to
That
ruin
tape
his
could have been
relationship?
buried, and the whole thing would have went
Why do you
away.
have to ruin his relationship with Gary?
Yeah, really.
I'm
What-
not trying to do that.
But
I'm
you
just
really
trying
are.
to-
That's exactly
I'm trying
what you're trying to do.
tell Gary that he shouldn't be only mad at me.
No, you're trying to tell me that my
No.
friend isn't as good as I think he is. That's really what you're trying to do.
I mean, you're really a weasel.
Yeah.
Of the highest order.
You really are.
Wow.
Oh, great. Now the Fred email will come tomorrow that it's nothing but Depace is an asshole, blah, blah, blah.
That was coming anyway. Now it's just going to be worse.
When I read nothing but the opposite on Sternfed
Do you
Network.
think that Fred is holding back email?
Fred filters
I sent a couple of emails in that actually, picked on Gary, so it wasn't just you. But you do admit that you made a solemn vow to him that you would never use that tape. And when Doug came to you,
I don't think I was doing the equivalent of marriage or putting my hand on the Bible, but
it's
your word is your word.
Your word means nothing. Is what you're saying.
Here's the deal: if Gary had said
Around
that day,
here,
"No,
not a
I
whole
will
lot.
not let this happen," and he would not let you put that camera in without the switch, then that would have been the end of it. And you would have had to find a way to do
I don't
it. He
recall
did
the
you a
conversation
favor.
being a big deal.
He did you a favor by letting you take the easier way out.
He did Howard TV a favor.
No,
not
I
me
didn't.
A favor.
I don't have to do.
Well, you're the guy that had the conversation with him, right?
You
he
asked
gets
me
paid
if
by Howard TV.
Oh,
you
my
were the
God.
guy that had the conversation with him.
He's in charge when it
Don't
counts.
hide behind Howard TV.
Irish John, you're on the air.
Jesus.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey.
I think you need to put a shock collar on Gary and give the guys in the control room, like Scott and Doug, the remote for it, so when he falls asleep, they could train him and he won't fall asleep. You know what, Howard? On Channel 11 News one time, they had a picture of a cop that fell asleep in one of the subway stations, and they aired that picture, and I was like, that's pretty fucked up. But the guy fell asleep on the job, and anybody could have walked by Gary's office with a camera and snapped the picture.
Right.
So,
But they didn't.
No,
You're
listen.
right.
And had that happened, then Gary couldn't be mad at anybody.
Exactly. That's
but
exactly
this is a situation where somebody promised somebody, if you let me do this, then
All
I
right.
promise you.
The point
it was quid
is,
pro
we're getting
quo,
off the
and
point.
you didn't quid.
The point is, if Gary and you have a thing, you don't have to throw everybody else into the mix.
Here's one
I
last-
worked my thing out with Gary. Doug worked his thing out. Bringing up John Hine and just waving your arms and saying everybody else is to blame. Just take your blame and that's it. It's like if you go
One last
before the
thing.
judge, if five guys rape a woman, you got to go before the judge and say, why did you do it? Not the other four guys.
And if
did
you
it.
made the date with the girl and then your buddies
you
glommed on,
can't equate
you
this to
are
rape.
more
That's
responsible.
ridiculous. This is not rape. Now, one last thing.
I didn't say it was rape. I'm giving you an extreme example.
Here's how I see this whole thing going down. I'm doing a segment. Gary falls asleep. Doug, pandemonium in the back. They start recording it. They have this tape now.
Right.
Now, the tape then comes to you.
Right.
And you make the
We
decision.
know that.
Now,
I'm to blame.
And you have even said if I buried that tape and threw it out, you would have been angry.
I accept the blame.
So in this case, I had
Why
nothing to
can't
do with
you?
it. Doug taped it,
So you
and
had
you
nothing
wanted to
to do
play
with
it.
it. Did
So
you-
almost, yeah.
Didn't you give Gary your word that you would never use that
Yeah,
tape?
but I didn't tape it.
So you should have said to Doug, I gave him my word. Get rid of
We
the tape.
can't use it.
That's your decision.
Maybe I did say that to him.
Maybe you didn't.
It's a long time.
I don't
It's
think
a long.
that hasn't come out in the past
We're deep into
24
the
hours,
trial
so I don't think
to
that
be hearing
happened.
that shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm lying there. But, still.
Do you understand the difference?
I
Forget about
understand
my role in
everything,
it. Forget
please.
about Doug's role. What is your role in it? Just be sorry for
He's
it.
the guy that if he was at a party and a
You're
cop
guilty.
walked in and busted him for smoking pot, he'd go, well, what about those motherfuckers over there? They're smoking it too.
You're guilty.
Right. You're a
guilty
rat.
is charged, Your Honor. You're guilty. Stop saying John Hine. Stop saying that. You are guilty.
Okay.
Forget about the other guys.
I'm sorry.
Let the
I'm
other
guilty.
guys deal with Gary.
All right.
But it does make for great radio and great TV.
Thank you so much for setting me straight.
All right. Thank you, Irish John.
All right, Howard.
The Howard Stern Show ends, and the wrap-up show begins.
Scott Depace blames everyone but himself for having the tape of Gary sleeping. And Gary, you sounded a lot more pissed off than I thought you were. I knew it was eating at you, but I didn't know it was really that strong.
Yeah, I spent the weekend being pretty pissed off about it. I kept thinking about it, and I mean, I thought about it enough to call Howard and apologize for what had happened. You know, I just felt it made me look bad in his eyes, and rightfully so. And like I keep saying, I never did anything like that before. That doesn't make it right. And we had a really nice conversation. He's like, listen, dude, your work ethic is not a question with me. You do a great job. He goes, sometimes shit happens. But I felt really badly about it. But then afterwards, I was like, I just was sort of bummed out that I had to be put in that position. I know a lot of the listeners are like, grow up, you throw people under the bus, take a joke. And I'm like all about that. Like, I get that. But this didn't have to happen because he gave me his word. That's what I keep coming back to. I know it sounds gay and douchey. Like I said, if somebody opens the door and they catch me, then I'm caught. But I got caught because somebody betrayed me.
And
Judas.
And believe me, guys, we'll talk a lot about Chris Rock and David Spade coming in. That's our main topic. But since you brought that up, Gary, somebody was throwing the theory that, oh, you're just deflecting away from getting caught sleeping. Like, that's why you're harping on Depace, to put the attention on him and off of you.
But if I were looking to do that, then why would I call Howard and apologize? I would have called Howard and bitched about Scott. I met it head on. And I've said, I mean, I don't know how many times I can say that I knew what I did was wrong, but I still have a right to be mad. I have a very big right to be mad.
Did you feel better after having that conversation with Howard?
A little bit, yeah. I did. Listen, I wasn't looking for him to say to me, oh, that's fine. I just needed to get it off my chest.
Well, today when Depace came in, he basically blamed literally almost everyone on the staff except for himself. And I was talking to him later, and he says, yeah, he takes some of the blame, but it's unfair that he's the only one being accused of doing this to you.
But he's not the only one being accused of it. He's the only one that really didn't apologize in a sincere fashion. You know what I mean? In other words, Doug came up to me. I know Doug's just as much a part of it as Scott. But again, I had the direct conversation with Scott Depace. I never had that conversation with Doug. So I think he has a little bit more responsibility in this.
And Scott gave me some analogy. And Scott, I know if you're here, come in, or Doug, maybe you can describe this.
Scott says he's not coming in.
Well, I asked him to come in, and I don't know if he's going to, but I'll try to put it in his words. He said, this is like Gary having a loaded gun in his office that, okay, and I take the gun, and I give it to Goodstein, and then Goodstein fires the gun. Something like that.
Yeah, except for the part, and I'll go with that moronic logic. And I'll say that, except for the part where Gary's got a loaded gun in his office, and Scott promised to never take it out of my office or show it to anybody.
Teddy, do me a favor. Hit number 2. This is Depace and Gary really in the heat of it all.
He was betrayed by you.
You look me in the eye and you fucking out lied, and you can't live up to it. You can't man up to it or own up to it.
I said I did.
No, you
1,000 times. I said I did betray you.
2 minutes ago, you said it was between him and Doug. You had nothing to do with it.
Then it's Howard's fault.
Right.
Robin, what world are these people living in?
The world that you created.
This is crazy. I said I betrayed you 100 times. I said I betrayed you.
But
others betrayed you too.
But it's Howard's fault. It's Doug's fault.
End of sentence. Now I'd like to start a new sentence.
No.
And that
don't
sentence.
start it.
Yeah, why not?
Save yourself.
And that sentence says that he's guilty and Doug's guilty as well.
Okay.
What am I going to say?
Martin in Tacoma, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, Gary's trying to have it both ways on this tape. He said that if he had been caught, then he would have manned up. But because he wasn't caught, this videotape got leaked, and he's pissed off about it. It's either man up or don't man up. You can't have it both ways, Gary.
No, I can't have it both ways. I absolutely can. In other words, I have been caught, and I have manned up. But I trust...
You're saying if I had been caught, I would have manned up. No, you should have gone to Howard and said, look, I fell asleep in my office. I just want you to know, before the video was leaked...
Oh, yeah, right. That's Martin. You walk into work and you go, hey, listen, I'm a half an hour late, but, I'm sorry. Everybody's a genius on the telephone.
Don't blame the whistleblower. That's like blaming the guy that rats out the cigarette companies.
But again, you're missing the point. If he wants to be the whistleblower, he can be the whistleblower.
Martin, Gary's admitting to what happened. He's not saying he didn't sleep. He's not denying that. He's pissed off because he had a conversation with Depace. Depace said, there's this camera, but I will never use it. And then he turned around and used it. That's why Gary's upset. Plain and simple.
Everyone's holier than thou on the phone.
No, I'm not holier than thou. That's very Weasley what he did to you. I admit that.
Yes, it was.
And, that's very Depace.
Yep, that is.
But at the same time, you shouldn't get mad at him because you know that shit gets used on the back end.
Except for the part, again, I feel like I'm going in a circle, except for the part where I said, you could put a camera in my office if you promise to never use anything except when I'm on the air. And he said, I promise.
Thanks, Martin. All right, we've got the weasel here.
I would love to come and talk about this, John. The problem is anything I say will be like another butt to Gary. So I don't want to. I apologize. That's it.
Okay. I tried to use your gun analogy, but I didn't say it right. Can you give me the analogy you were using?
Well, that's like a butt, though. I can't.
I'm asking you to give the analogy.
You can say whatever you want, Scott.
So I simply said my role in this was basically it's like Gary had a gun in his office. I go and take the gun, give it to Goodstein. Goodstein shoots Gary, and now Gary's mad at me.
It's a very dumb analogy.
No, it's not.
And I'll take it right from the beginning.
All I did was...
Here's the thing. Here's where
you're
whole thing,
missing the big guy here.
Here's where this whole thing falls apart. you promised to never come into my office and take the gun. You looked me in the eye and you promised I will never come in your office.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying,
like
that's your dumbass analogy.
But you make it sound like, I promised not to date your daughter or something. I mean, it was about...
I know, but I said, no, I don't want that camera. And then they go, and you said, we really need to have it.
It wasn't that, but you never said no. It was like, I don't know. And I said, well, look, we won't use it. And
I said, I don't think so. And you go, I promise we'll never use anything except when the button's on. Those are the exact words. Not like the words.
And
they're the words.
It was me as a Howard TV representative. Doug, that was Doug's promise as well to you.
That's what
you're missing.
Nazi soldier defense.
Well, that's what he's missing, though. That really it was all of our promise to him. It wasn't just mine. Doug knew about that promise.
But you should feel more responsible for it. You should go, hold on a second, guys.
All right.
I sat with Gary.
Scumbag.
Scott,
I gotta go.
Scott, here's what you sound like, okay? You're blaming me and Will.
Don't turn this on me.
Hold on. Then you're blaming Howard. Then you're blaming Doug. Then you're blaming Gary. You're blaming everybody but yourself. And
because it's ridiculous that I'm somehow the fall guy here. I don't see it.
Well, now it sounds, and even when you were in there today, it sounded like you were totally pointing the finger at Doug, saying, I was just following orders. Doug makes the decision.
Because I'm pissed that the spineless Doug sort of just sat back and let it happen.
Doug, was it fair to call you a spineless fish?
I didn't know he was here.
I'm sitting back because it's more fun to watch you go nuts. But I am equally to blame for sure.
You told me earlier you're 90% to blame.
Okay, I'm 90% to blame.
Fine.
Because I could have squashed it. I could have said, listen, I know the deal. Let's just not do it. But I'm coming back to the thing that's saying we had a difficult decision, and it was a very rare occasion. It's the first time it ever happened, and it wasn't, this is a fucked up show. It was a really hard scenario.
Now, the difference between you two, honestly, is that
Doug can apologize.
He's saying, I made the call. I apologized to Gary. It might have been the wrong call, but it was worth doing. That's what Doug is saying.
When you're wrongfully accused like I have been...
How are you wrongfully accused?
Because he's only blaming me. That's the point that I'm pissed off about. I've taken responsibility. I've never once said that I did not have that conversation with Gary.
Yes, you have. You actually said it to me the first time I brought it up to you, and you go, I don't remember that conversation.
That's bullshit.
You did. It was on the wrap-up show. You're so cavalier about the whole thing. You really did. You go,
I did not.
You looked at me and you go, I don't remember that conversation. Well, I guess if you said we had it.
No, what I said was that we definitely had the conversation when I first put the camera in back at 57th Street, and that here I sort of, I think I did have the conversation, but I wasn't quite as sure about it.
But Scott, think about it from a technical point of view. Of course we had the conversation here because back there the camera wasn't on me the whole time. We would have had to have had that conversation.
Understood, but we had that conversation back at 57th Street before we did it, and that's why I came up with that box, because you were uncomfortable.
All you're telling me is we had the conversation twice, and you still fucked me.
Fine.
How do you...
Doug fucked you, too! He knew about that conversation. I was representing Doug. You don't get that.
I get it plenty, but Doug isn't in here flailing his arm that he's the big innocent.
I got to go.
One last question before you go. Howard asked,
I apologize again.
Howard asked Gary point blank, can you trust Depace ever again? And Gary,
I don't care.
And Gary said no. Why?
Why doesn't
care?
But why don't you care?
Because he's Scott. He's the be-all, end-all.
Because what am I going to walk away here? I did something great for the show, and Gary's pissed at me, and I'm going to somehow walk away here crying, all upset that Gary doesn't trust me anymore? I could give a shit.
Nobody's asking you to cry.
But it's a guy you work with hand in hand for almost 20 years.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that this has happened. I've apologized, and now suddenly, he can't trust me anymore. I'm Benedict Arnold, so fine. Fuck it.
Do you think this affects the trust that Howard has in you?
Dude, Howard was in on the whole fucking thing, so I don't care. I gotta go. This is ridiculous. You were part of it. He was part of it. Will was part of it. Everyone's part of it. You all betrayed him in some way. Maybe not as much as me, but everyone betrayed him. Howard betrayed him, and he's being a little jerk that it's only about me.
It's not only about you, but I will say, I said this about you before this happened. I'll say it about you again. The mechanism that allows you to feel compassion or bad about something has been cut out of your brain.
You don't know anything about me. For working with me for almost 20 years, you don't know anything about me.
Like anybody else would go, God, I feel really bad about this, but you don't.
This is not my life right here.
Exactly. You don't really care.
One little piece.
I'm not saying you have to throw yourself in front of a train. You have no sincerity. You come across as completely insincere when you apologize.
Well...
Who cares?
Maybe I need to go to acting school.
Maybe you need to go to therapy school.
Have you guys always had an antagonistic relationship?
No.
Well, I think it started around here when Gary, with politics and stuff.
He blames it on Jason. There's always someone to blame.
Well, no, and then there was the Jason angle where I feel, wrongfully attacked, and he stood up for him, and I guess Gary at that point chose sides.
Why isn't anyone standing up for you in this situation?
I don't know.
Or ever.
You know who's they all stand up for me in the control room when we're off air, and then Doug.
No, I was trying to stand up here. Listen, I am on the team with you on this one for sure. But you're out. Well, because you went on there and you wouldn't just apologize.
Because
it's so simple.
Not me. I'm not
because
a girl.
We did something wrong. I acknowledge it. We made a tough call.
I apologize for the act. What I'm mad at is I'm being singled out.
You're
that's
not.
My issue.
See, that's you have some sort of complex. You're not being singled out.
So Howard apologizing to Spade today, was that a girl? Was that like a girl move?
No, again, that's not my thing. Apology is not the point. The fact that Doug. He apologized when Gary wasn't even mad at him. That's my fucking issue. It's really
I was mad at him.
He was mad at me on Thursday.
I was fucking mad at him.
I was going to wait actually till today to apologize. I was going to let him cool off.
If you feel that way, Scott, then why did you apologize to Gary at all?
Because he feels that people want him to. He doesn't want to look bad.
Well, hold on. Let him answer. I said, if you feel that way about apologies, why did you apologize to Gary in the first place?
I don't feel that way about apologies.
You just said it's girly.
Because Doug was apologizing when it wasn't even a big issue. I'm saying... I apologized for my role in this, but Gary's got to know I'm 1/10 of this fucking thing. That's what I want to fucking say.
I think you're more than 1/10. I know, of course, I know you're not the whole thing, but I had the conversation.
Look at the tape. You only singled out towards me.
I had the because I had the conversation with you. I had the conversation with you.
Yeah. Well, Doug knows.
So if you're representing,
Doug knows I represent it. So that's my issue with Doug. He should have stepped in, taken the machine gun fire. Instead, he sat back.
I tell you, the laser was at your head. I don't think Gary would have cared if I said anything then on Thursday.
Dan at Fort Wayne, you're on the wrap-up show.
How you guys doing?
Great, just peachy.
It sounds like it's a very heated argument, Scott. You sound real kind of obnoxious when you're arguing.
I'm obnoxious, yeah.
Scott, this guy is trying to defend you. Listen to him.
Right. What I'm trying to say is, Baba Booey, did you only have this conversation with Scott?
Yes.
Is he the deciding factor on what goes to Howard to get on the air?
It doesn't matter because once you have a conversation with a person, they say, "Yes, I promise you, I won't do that." It doesn't matter who's the deciding factor.
Right.
Because he made a promise. He wasn't overruled. He was in on it. He wasn't the only person. It wasn't like Scott said, "Hey, we can't do this because I made a promise to Gary," and everyone overruled him.
Doug put the tape in.
Is it right or wrong? Were you overruled?
No, I told Doug, when Doug had that tape, I said, he's going to be pretty pissed off at us. I don't know if we want to do this. Then we had a conversation about it some more, and then Doug went in to tell Howard. I made sure to go in to tell Howard that, look, don't let him kill our camera. That was my role in it.
Well, it's dead now.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't fucking care. Right now we show black. The viewers are really going to hate it.
I just think if Scott wasn't the deciding factor, Baba Booey should have went up to him and, said, hey, if this you shouldn't tape me only tape me if I'm holding down the button. Scott didn't.
He's the one that, hold on, wait a second. He's the guy that came to me and asked to put the camera on me.
It was my idea.
So if he's the guy, that's the guy I'm dealing with.
I understand, and he's not helping himself saying apologizing is girly because he did apologize.
I didn't mean that. Play back the friggin' tape. I don't even know why.
You come off like, and you make people hate you, Scott, by saying stuff like that.
Good, they all hate me.
Dan, he doesn't care. He truthfully doesn't care whether you hate him. I think you actually get off a little bit on people that hate you.
Well, I mean, come on, a caller on the phone. I don't know the guy from Kansas or wherever the hell he's at. It doesn't bother me. Today I'm gonna have a great day. It's gonna be fun. It doesn't bother me.
Chris in Fort Lauderdale, you're on the wrap-up show.
He's gonna have a great day. How can you have such a great day with zero integrity?
I'm going to have a great day because...
He's 1/10 of what brought it to the air, but he's the only link in that chain.
I said I wasn't going to do this, Gary. I said I wasn't going to come in today.
I didn't call you in.
All right.
He's the only one. He's the only one that said, Gary, I won't put it on the air. So, yes, he's 1/10 of the...
Yeah, but do you understand that Doug fully knew whatever promise was made was on behalf of Howard TV. He fully knew that this happened before he brought the tape to Howard. But yet I'm the bad guy. Uh-oh, Robin's going to chime in? I'm out of here.
Guarantee. Everybody's done something in their office that they wouldn't want their boss to see. Whether it's Sporkle, so Gary does a lot of things, Sporkle, Solitaire, now this. But everybody's done something in their office and that they wouldn't want their boss to see. So that caller, by the way, that said you should go to Howard and tell him that he's an idiot. Who would do that?
Oh, that's what I asked him. I said, if you're 2 minutes late, you're going to go to your boss and turn yourself in?
No. Who goes to their boss and goes, listen, I know you paid me for 10 hours,
Hey,
but
buddy,
I spent
let me
about
ask you
40
something.
minutes picking my nose on Thursday.
Are you
so
glad?
I'd like
Are you glad that we brought the tape to Howard or not?
That's not the
Honestly?
point.
Yeah.
It's given you guys a lot of material for days now. So.
Scott, that's not the point.
All right, Scott, the answer is yes. Everyone is glad that you brought the tape for entertainment value.
Almost
everyone.
Except Gary.
Well,
But
except
now-
one
but
person
wait.
who just happens to be the guy who you promised that you would never bring a tape like that to.
So, but I'm so stupid, I'm trying to figure this out. So, everyone loves it.
Don't hurt yourself.
But if it happens again, I don't put it forward, right?
Well, it won't happen again, because no one will trust you to let you put the camera in.
Well, let's say I do get a tape.
Robin, what isn't getting through Scott's head here?
I don't see how he
I'm not
can't
gonna-
understand that
All
he
right.
made a deal with Gary.
Yeah,
and then
I'm not
he
going to
broke
listen to
the
a
deal.
bunch of geniuses, John Hein the genius, sitting there going, what's not getting through his head?
Can I interpret that, by the way? What he says, I'm not going to listen to a bunch of people that I'm way more intelligent than tell me what
No,
to
but
do.
I'm equally as intelligent, absolutely.
I dispute
But
that.
don't you, I heard you saying on the air today that, you didn't think it was that big a deal when you made the deal with Gary. That it didn't seem that important to you when you said, I'll never use that camera unless you are talking on the air.
Yeah, my word is a big deal, but at the same point, I didn't see it as like, that God, it's been 10 years since the original deal was struck.
That's
I
not
didn't-
true either.
Yeah, it was.
It's not.
It was
It's
back at
no,
K-Rock.
It was, again, you're missing
The original deal, I said.
Okay, and then the second time we re-upped the
5
deal
years ago.
was about 4.5 years ago, which, again...
So your word has a shelf life.
Right.
Yes.
Oh.
Right, you have integrity until it's too funny for you.
What's the expiration date on your word?
4 years and we passed that date.
1/11, go fuck yourself. That's the date. It's serious. It's just like all of a sudden a date shows up and it's everything's... Like he said the other day, when I was listening back to the wrap-up show this morning, that's where I was getting all pissed off again. I go, Scott, fuck me. And you go to Scott, why'd you fuck Gary? And you go, it was funny.
You see how pissed off he is. You just don't care.
I've apologized.
But
I don't want to come on the
sincere, is
show.
it? I mean, you're not really acknowledging that this was painful for him, that it had
No,
consequences for him.
Yes. But everyone's laughing, and I'm
That's
the
not
bad
the
guy
point.
again. Bullshit. It's unbelievable.
I know it's funny. I get it.
Said I was sorry with a straight face twice now to him in his office.
Right, and then you walked right out of my office and went on the air and then it completely countered what I thought was a sincere apology in my office, completely countered it on every level.
I just was simply pointing out that Doug, spineless Doug, was part of it.
Finger pointing.
And I got to tell you, by the way, your apology in my office today was less about an apology and more about, like, I just want this to end. It was more about you.
Oh, so now the apologies comes. Oh, Jesus, I can't even do an apology right.
Well, you just don't have any sincerity. You're not believing. If you apologize to me and then 2 minutes later you walk in and you go, but, is that really an apology?
I didn't say any buts at that one.
I know, then you came here and did them all.
I didn't want to. I started this. I said, I'm not going to do it because it's going to sound like a butt. You said, no, say what you want.
It would be one thing if you said, you know what, I forgot that we had made that pact, and I'm really sorry.
I'm really sorry.
Oh, shut up. But you didn't forget. You knew all the time that you had said that, but you decided to go ahead and do what you did anyway.
I did, and I said to Doug, listen, Robin, let me explain it to you. I'm in the control. We're doing a segment. Someone says, Gary's sleeping. And I go, what? And I look at his camera, and Doug goes, get a tape, roll tape on that. First check against Doug, right? I haven't done a thing yet. Then they're still going on, blah, blah, blah.
But you could have said right then, you can't tape it, Doug.
God, what am I,
Doug's mom? Because he made the pact with you.
So then the segment ends, and I turn right around to Doug and go, God, man, I don't know, man. That Gary's going to be pretty pissed off at us. Not thinking that World War III would start, thinking he was just angry at us. And I said, I don't think we can. Doug still went forward, and when he went to tell Howard, I went to tell Howard, just look, I made this deal with Gary. He's going to be pretty pissed off, so you got to protect us so we don't lose the camera. That's what I said to him. And Howard said,
that's all you cared about.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't like, whoa, Gary's feelings, I made a deal. It's like, don't lose the camera. Like, well, the Titanic's down, push everyone off. I need the rowboat.
I didn't think it was, again, it wasn't you, like, stealing something personal. I didn't think you would get in trouble over it. That's why I thought it was sort of
course you
funny
did. That's why you gave it to him.
No, I thought it would be a little thing for the air, and that's exactly what it was.
Actually, it was a tiny thing for the air. You really threw me under the bus for nothing. It's the fighting that's made it more interesting. If I would have just been quiet about it, it'd be done.
So you're the genius now.
No, I'm not saying I'm a genius at all. I'm saying that you're going to act like you created all this content, but you didn't. You really just tried. You just fucked me.
I want to get out of here now. I don't want to.
I quite honestly am bored.
A golf game to get.
Last minute golf appointment.
Robin, so with that explanation, you see now how it's Doug's fault.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good.
There you go.
By the way, I give Doug many, many points for shutting up.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
Sometimes
me.
in life, well, we know that.
He's spineless, and I'm argumentative.
I'm not spineless. It's just such a clear-cut thing that's going on.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Yeah, and I said it. Keep going.
And Gary's attacking me. Sounds like we figured
because
things
you
out.
won't just put closure to it. You're opening up the wound. You're just like, it's like the wound is open, but you can close up quickly, but you won't let it.
I'm not going to accept the blame twice. Once because he's attacking the wrong person, and two because you're not taking the blame. So,
but he did take the blame.
I took it to Gary in private. I took it on the air. Said it again today.
Then I want an apology.
Now you want an apology?
I owe you an apology from
Who
Gary.
do you want an apology from?
Why do you want an apology from me?
Because you're attacking me.
But after Doug apologized to me, he didn't go on the radio and explain to me why I'm nuts, why I'm wrong, and why it's everyone else's fault.
Well, I'm just setting things straight. I'm just letting you know who really threw you under. And I threw you under.
And Doug.
If I'm going to put this in things, Doug is probably 75%, maybe 20.
It's going down every minute.
John Hine has a percentage.
Oh,
Will
my
has
God.
a percentage.
Hine, just because
They
he
all
looked
knew
at it.
No. Howard had a percentage. He knew it. They all did. They all knew. And
John, what percentage do you take of responsibility?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to apologize to Scott, because clearly he's going to want an apology from me. I take no
John has
blame.
nothing to do with
saying,
it, Scott.
the only difference between you and I in this thing is that I made the deal with him in the bridge. I know that's
a huge difference.
Yeah, it is.
That's a tiny
enormous
The
detail.
whole thing. That's the whole thing. And you did nothing to protect him knowing that.
I'm still trying to figure out how...
He did. That he did. We both did. We both were... We both knew that we
threw in the tape. He should have stopped you from doing that. That was your deal.
I'm in the middle of directing a segment. I couldn't do that. But I could tell him afterwards.
Anyway.
Afterwards, I told him, don't. I think that Gary's going to be pissed. We shouldn't use it.
Hello,
John didn't say that. John was like, ooh.
Yeah, Scott's going to jump in front of Doug and stop him from putting a tape in. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The problem here is Scott's not smart enough to shut up.
Shut up, Ralph. No, the problem is I don't care.
The point is he did the wrong thing. He didn't even think of it.
See, Scott's so
it's not
stupid,
being
I'm
smart. I don't care.
I'm trying to defend him, and he won't shut up.
Oh,
Gary's misdirecting his anger. He should be just as mad at Doug. Doug's responsible.
But Ralph, I was just as mad at Doug, and Doug and I had the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where it would just be nice if Scott really meant that he was sorry, but he's not. He really doesn't feel badly about it at all. He's just trying to figure out how to get out of here without looking like a dick.
I think, Gary, that Scott just didn't think it was that big a thing that you would be so upset.
Well, he should
over.
have.
Well, but that's the way he feels it and the way you feel, and it's two different things. So I think Scott...
No, when you make a deal with somebody, you got to feel that you can trust them.
No. Listen, I love it, but I think you're 110% right. I'd be pissed as shit. I mean, and it is a big thing.
So then how am I, if you agree with me on that, how am I misdirecting my anger towards Scott?
Because Doug threw in the tape. Everybody loves it when it happens. And Howard would be, like Howard found out later that you were sleeping and nobody put a tape in and got it. Howard would be pissed. These guys know that. I mean, Yeah,
I can only guess at the amount of things that happen back there that we'd all love to see that we're never going to see because it's like the blue wall of silence. Those guys are, cover for themselves. So you can make that you can make that analogy for anyone. But I'm sure there's a million things that's going on back there that we could see that they don't let us see.
Put a camera in the control room. I don't care.
Well, that would cut you down on a lot of activity.
You're still controlling it.
Right.
I don't know, man. Can I go?
Yeah, I just missed it 5 minutes ago.
Gary, just say, listen, I'm sorry, and that's it. And
Gary, I'm sorry, and that's it. And what else, Ralph?
You just ooze sincerity, Scott.
I love you and give him a hug.
No hugs.
I won't do the love or the hug, but Gary, I'm sorry. I am sorry.
I am sorry.
All right. Thank you, Ralph.
Gary.
Bye, guys.
Scott, thank you for taking the time. Much appreciated.
I do have to
Scott
say,
Depace, ladies and gentlemen.
For me, the best part of all of this has been that now when we have his political arguments, everyone will see, he's never going to say he's wrong about anything, ever.
No, he never will. But I figure he's the type of guy that, my word is my bond, that type. But clearly
Apparently not.
No, it doesn't mean a thing to him. And Doug, it's all your fault.
Listen, I'm not innocent at all. I'm not saying that. I never said that. But the one thing I in hindsight, and again, it might have been worth taking the wrath of Howard, is to go to Gary first. Maybe we should have said, Gary, but I don't know. You said if you thought about it, you would have been pissed, but you probably would have said, all right, go ahead and play it. But
I don't know how I would have. I really can't give you a genuine
have
answer.
to be in the
like I said, the weird thing about it is not weird, but I'm really embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
It's obviously, if I didn't give a shit, I wouldn't be mad.
But the thing that changes if you do that is now he feels, well, at least Depace is respecting what they had agreed to. He's saying we were never going to use this, but instead we've come to you. Then at least Gary can't be angry at Scott because he held up his end of the bargain in that situation. But I'm sure you're thinking, I can't tip Gary off with this because it's too good of a piece of tape.
Everything went through my head. Like, what do we do?
How long did you guys have the tape?
We had it for a day. A day.
Less than a day.
Yeah. we try to get to Howard the day of. Actually, I admit that.
Right. And Doug, you called this. I mean, you said you knew it was going to lead to.
It was spotted. I said, I put it into my monitor. I was like, I'm rolling on it. And then we'll figure out what to do afterwards. And we filled in Howard thoroughly. In the 45 seconds to a minute that I had to tell him.
Well, that's, there's a couple things going on there. First of all, you never really can fill them in thoroughly when you have 45 seconds during a commercial break when everybody's in there. But the other thing is, again, it's no excuse.
I'm not trying to deflect.
But it is, no, it's no excuse, but it is an excuse.
Because it should have never even come to that.
How are you going to show that to Howard and
expect him to say no?
Yeah, we all know it's a great way to lay blame elsewhere when you want to take it off of you because he's going to say, of course, play it, then you can blame him. But and even on the phone yesterday, he said to me, I take some of the blame for it, and I said, I know you do, but I don't let you because once it's been handed to you, how could you say no?
Right.
Tim in North Carolina, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, I just wanted to say first, Gary, yeah, you screwed up, but you took responsibility. I totally get what you're saying, and I take your side. Depace, you can never trust this guy. I mean, his word is like an old diaper. It's just full of crap. The man's got no honor. He's never going to apologize because he's one of those lowlifes who just everybody else is against him. Everybody else is wrong. And by the way, Robin, love you, respect you.
Thank you. Is there an instance on the show where you have been the as opposed to?
Well, I've probably thrown people under the bus a lot. The great thing is that I'm sort of in a position where I sort of don't have to anymore. There's a lot of guys out there who are just more willing to do it.
When we talked about this last week, the only thing we thought was analogous was when Scott Salem had Stuttering John's Tonight Show audition tape.
Right.
And you know what? I did think that was wrong. I was glad I wasn't involved in the decision, and it made me laugh.
Yeah, so you can see it from the outside looking in. Yeah, because I think that probably happens a lot on the show, and
although you could make the argument that John's deal left when he did. You know what I mean? In other words, John cut that tape before he had a job.
Right.
So once he left our show, I think maybe you could make that argument.
Didn't Scott say also it was the ultimate payback for him for all the crap that he took for John all those years?
Why would you hand your truth? Why would you hand your enemy that tape? But I understand why John would be mad about it.
Oh, I love when Scott describes that devious plan he had, how he kept the backup. He was just waiting for that day.
And they were asking me last week, and I said, it's one of those great things with Scott where he completely bypassed me. Yeah. He didn't even run it by me. He brought it right into Howard.
He knew he had gold.
Woody in San Antonio, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I think Scott's analogy about the gun is pretty damn weak. I think a more appropriate analogy is Jimmy Olsen sneaks into the Fortress of Solitude, steals a big old hunk of kryptonite, and gives it to Lex Luthor.
Okay.
My head's smoking. I think I know what you mean, but I'm not positive.
I'm not sure.
But
this is the greatest show on earth.
Right. Let's go to Matt. Matt, you're on the air. It's 7 o'clock. Matt, you're the last call, and then I got to take a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Howard. I've got to talk to you about the Howard TV footage of Gary falling asleep. It's fucking amazing, man.
That's made it up there.
Well, I was talking.
Can I just quickly follow up on your retirement talk, though?
Okay, all right, go ahead. But don't forget about Gary.
I got to ask you, have you thought about what your audience might do if you retire? Like, we're a bunch of, assholes right now. You're doing a pretty good show, but we bitch anyway. If you retire, we might... do something really negative.
You better stay here just to keep these people under control.
That's true. In fact, the government should pay me just to keep working because, listen, I got to keep my band of merry men.
Oh my God! If they turn their attention somewhere else,
right. Like, what if we all decided to support Jay Leno if you decide to retire?
Well, listen, that to each his own. I don't know if we all think as one. We're not the Borg. But I'll tell you this, when it comes to the Gary video, I've been thinking about it. First of all, if you haven't seen the Gary video, it's very funny because I was describing it to Ralph. He hadn't seen it yet. And I said, the brilliant thing about it is Gary sleeps with his mouth open and he licks his choppers with his. Am I right, Matt?
Oh, Howard, it's incredible.
He wets his choppers down even in his sleep. And if you remember the story, after I did the Arsenio Hall show 100 years ago, and I flew Gary first class home with me because I needed someone to talk to, and I described Gary fell asleep in the chair within 2 seconds, and I had no one to talk to. And I talked about his hangdog mouth and how his mouth stays open when he sleeps. There is the proof that I was not lying. I mean, you never saw a guy sleep with this. And he licks his lips and teeth and gums. There he is. Look at him. I mean, he's out cold, and the mouth is open. And I got to tell you something about the mouth.
There it goes.
There it goes. It's like a volcano erupting when the tongue comes out.
It's like the Old Faithful.
Why do you think in his sleep he needs to lick? Do you think he's so used to doing it in real life that he...
No, I'm sure it gets very dry, and if it were to continue, if he didn't do that, he'd probably have to wake up. He'd be so uncomfortable.
And when you watch the video of Gary sleeping, it is like waiting for a volcano. You wait for him to lick his teeth.
I'm telling you, it's more like that Old Faithful, that geyser that comes up every so often.
It's fun. You wait
and
for
wets everything up.
If I can describe it to the audience, the best word to put it would be unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Well,
I wanted to ask
but
Gary,
I want to make another point about this.
Yeah, go nuts, man.
I was listening to the wrap-up show, and there was a big eruption. First of all, Scott Depace is on fire, yelling and screaming and this and that. But even a lot of people wrote in, and it does distract. Gary has done something very masterful by being angry with DePace and Doug and all of this.
You forget that he was sleeping on the job.
You forget that the bottom line is Gary's sleeping during work.
Yeah.
My nap time was a 9.
I mean, look, I know you've apologized for sleeping. But there's one thing I will thank Scott DePace for. And Doug. They did the wrong thing, and I did the wrong thing. I accept responsibility. This was private tape. But I will say this. I am glad that Scott DePace ultimately made the decision to give me the tape because I needed to know that Gary was sleeping on the job. And Gary lied to me. I said, Gary, were you sleeping on the job? And he went, both. I closed my eyes. I was not sleeping.
Okay, can I say a couple of things?
You were sleeping. You did lie, and let's not forget that.
I didn't lie.
You told me you weren't sleeping.
I really did not think I fell asleep. I was telling the truth. I really did. I closed my eyes, and I really never felt that I fell asleep. The other thing is, I'm not distracting. I really am upset, and I'm still upset.
But you are distracted.
But not on purpose.
Yeah, but you've done it. You've turned it around to where you've attacked.
Everybody's dwelling on Scott DePace's actions, not yours.
Yeah.
Well, because they were the actions of a horrible person.
Ultimately, I'm glad I learned that you were sleeping on the job.
I get that.
Yeah, I am glad. I have to say.
Hey, Gary, can I...
But I agree with you. It was not the right thing
I still
to do.
feel very betrayed, and I still feel really used, and it's...
I mean, you were in full sleep mode. You had your feet up on the desk, your hands were behind your head, your tongue was out. And I'm going to say something else about Gary. When you watch the tape, your mouth is fully open when you sleep. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Whenever I see somebody who sleeps with their mouth full open, I think that it indicates a dullness.
A dullness?
A dopiness.
Because they sleep with their mouth open?
Oh, come on.
It's a very, I don't know, it seems dopey. I always sleep with my mouth.
You're supposed to be smart enough to keep your mouth closed.
My mouth is so closed when I sleep that they had to give me a a piece of plastic put in there so I
you're
don't
clenching your teeth to the point
Right.
you're
Look
going
at
to
him.
ruin your jaw.
I mean, things could crawl into that mouth. I mean, it's like a wide open fucking hole. I mean, who sleeps like that?
Well, first of all, I usually sleep on my stomach.
Boof.
What it indicates to me is real peace of mind.
Yeah, I mean, nothing bothers him. I mean, seriously, do you ever see people who sleep with... And this is what I described when I flew this guy first class to sit next to me.
This is the best because you really needed to talk to
By the way, you realize
And
this
his
is...
mouth was open the entire time on the plane.
Howard, you realize this is looping, right? Just you know, I wasn't asleep for 5 minutes.
No, I understand. I understand everything. I mean, who could be that relaxed? You have to have nothing on your mind.
There's a peace of mind there I envy.
And then again, you two fucking idiots who are, veterans of fucking therapy go, oh, if anybody could have that much peace of mind, they must be dumb.
No,
because
I have to hold it. He said dull from the mouth.
I
said
never dull.
Said
Yeah, she
it was
didn't say.
dull.
Well,
I said
she was
peace
thinking
of
it.
mind.
But what does that insinuate?
Peace of mind is dull.
Yeah,
Come
come on, Robin.
Oh, please.
Give me a break.
He's got nothing going on up there. He's relaxed. Because I told you on the plane, I go, Gary, I mean, can you believe I was thrown out of the Arsenio Hall show and the police escorted us out? I go, Paul, I'm going to go to sleep for just a few minutes. Then think.
It was the red eye.
He's licking his lips and teeth, and then he wakes up for 3 seconds, and I go, God, I'm so glad you woke up.
Well, that's the point. You had just been thrown out of a building, escorted out, and he went right to sleep.
And then he goes,
I wasn't thrown out.
Boff, did they serve any orange juice? He had to wet his choppers down. He wet his choppers down and went right back to sleep. Who goes right back to sleep on a plane? I got to take 10 billion pills to get to sleep.
I apologize that at 2 o'clock in the morning I couldn't listen to your problem.
I took 2 Ambien. I take 2 Ambien on a plane and I still can't
You're still
fall
wide
asleep.
awake.
For 10 minutes I sleep. Hey, this is a man who got bored in Las Vegas. I mean, it's unbelievable. Both, I'm bored. What are you bored about? There's gambling. There's girls. There's fucking everything here. I don't know. There's nothing to do. I went shopping.
I read all my books.
And I read all my books.
I hung out with Nick.
Nick, would you like to come up and watch TV?
And then he did.
And he did, and he was going to kill himself.
Nick was bored, too. You got to say that.
There you go, fell right in. Hello. Nick, are you awake yet? Good Lord.
Let's go wake up Audie.
I was supposed to have lunch with Artie. He turned out he slept for 28 hours.
Well, now you know why.
He really did. Artie got in at he got in at 5 o'clock the night before.
And he didn't want to sit with you?
And he didn't get up until 9 o'clock the next night. He slept for like 24 hours, 28 hours.
Gary was up early in Vegas because he knew he could get back to work and sleep. Both. Well, you're right, Matt. It is hilarious.
Well, Gary, how am I supposed to feel about the tape? Like, I got to admit to you, it's really, really funny. It's hilarious. But Depace is a massive fucking asshole for posting that up. Like, I gotta admit, you got a point. Like, how am I supposed to feel?
Start again, dude.
You had enough of that on the wrap-up show.
Listen.
Hey, dude, did you hear the wrap-up show? Matt.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, wow. That was
Depace,
something.
you're a fucking scumbag, dude.
So are you.
Depace went...
No, I'm not. I didn't double-cross Gary. Like, hey,
Who's that Canadian accent?
Fucking great tape, but you're a fucking scumbag, Depace.
Depace was on fire on the wrap-up show. He was just going berserk.
The best part was Depace had said, he goes, listen, I'm not going to go into wrap-up. And I said, fine. So they asked him to come in, and then he got all worked up, and then he got mad at me. I said, I didn't ask you to come in.
Right. Listen to him going berserk on the wrap-up show in case you missed it.
It's like Gary had a gun in his office. I go and take the gun, give it to Goodstein. Goodstein shoots Gary, and now Gary's mad at me.
It's a very dumb analogy.
No, it's not.
And I'll take it right from the beginning.
All I did was...
Here's the thing. Here's where that
You're
whole thing...
missing the big guy here.
Here's where this whole thing falls apart. You promised to never come into my office and take the gun. You looked me in the eye and you promised I will never come in your office.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying,
like,
that's your dumbass analogy.
But you make it sound like, I promised not to date your daughter or something. I mean, it was about...
I know, but I said, no, I don't want that camera. And then they go, and you said, we really need to have it.
It
And then I
wasn't
said,
that big. You never said no. It was like, I don't know. And
First of all, isn't this all Gary's fault in a way?
Well,
Who's
Gary
stupid enough?
created it.
Yeah, who's stupid enough to give those guys permission? You mean to tell me they can't figure out how to make a camera that can turn off?
Of course
they can. They did,
Of
but
course
they
can.
couldn't. You know what? Oh, it's radio's fault. We have this box, and they can't figure it out. And they
This
were
is the
going to
guy
work on
If
it.
you had said
Depace
no,
is-
they would have figured it out.
Depace is over in Vegas because he's the technical guy. He knows all the new equipment.
Right. He's smarter
But he can't find a camera in 2010 that shuts off in your office. What are you allowing them to do that for? It's your fault.
You're right.
Absolutely insane.
You were right.
I blame you. I'm back on blaming you. Why would you trust any of these vipers?
The only thing that Depace brought up which was a valid point is you should have put a hat on that camera when you weren't using it. or when
But I
they
mean,
weren't using it.
well, that's true. And also the point is, listen, turned out to be a great piece of tape. You had to take one for the team.
Still wrong.
Wrong it
Still
is.
wrong.
But you had to do it.
Somebody's word is not worth anything.
Not around here.
You know what? Tape is not your friend.
Right.
You taped yourself talking to your girlfriend.
Well, you know what? It's like he's like Nixon. Nixon was really shocked. This fucking Nixon taped everything he did. He loved it. He thought, well, for my presidency, it's going to be such a great presidency. My legacy
I
will
want to have every word.
everything on tape.
Every
Then-
word saved.
Then the fucking guy's shocked when they take the tapes and they're going to bust him on Watergate. He's like a mental case. You should never allow that. Listen, 2010, they got cameras that can turn off. Doug Goodstein's got to pay. Gary, we don't have a camera that can turn off.
Howard, you're missing the point. It has to be turned off by Gary.
No. That's a lie. Again, you moron. At Infinity, the camera worked this way. I pushed the button down to talk, and it went on. At 2 minutes,
You pushed the button, and that turned the camera on.
Yes, so that's the
And you
only
didn't
time it was on.
set it up that way here.
Right.
We had the box. I had the box made. Cost us $1,000 to have the box made. And when I gave it to the Sirius guys, they couldn't hook it into Gary's RTS box.
Yeah, and Gary should have said, then no, and you guys would have gotten it done.
Absolutely.
That's right. And Gary is
Gary
to blame.
was a friend to you.
So-
Gary said, don't agonize over it. It's okay.
Right.
He's a nut.
But I say,
not me.
I saved you. Hold on. I saved you, Scott Depace, techno genius, work because I said, okay, I'm not going to press you to go figure it out. I'll do you the favor.
No, you saved my engineer and Brian Phelan work, not me.
Whatever.
He
But
tried
who's the
to
guy
save
that
money,
asked
but he's wrong. You should have never agreed to that.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like, gee, guys, I need you to send a rocket to the moon. They needed a camera that turned on and off every time you hit the button.
And now they're mad that I turned the camera off in my office like I'm suffering.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if I'm not on your shitty show.
Oh, Howard's suffering. He can't see anymore.
Fine. He's not suffering.
I ain't looking for him.
I don't care if I'm not on your badly directed show.
You don't think he's a good
You work
director?
on the same show,
Well,
asshole.
I know, but I listen, I'm content. You're the one who's trying to put it all together. It's okay. I mean, it ain't rocket
Well, I don't know
science.
why you agreed to that.
Depace, where do you think you're going to go and work after this exactly? You're a fucking turncoat, dude.
I'm going to go
Who's
golf
going to hire you to do what? You fucking ran a scoreboard before this.
Listen, he's been a director on a hit show for over 20 years. The guy's a multimillionaire.
Oh, you guys are paying him to take Scott Eisinger's name off of everything and put his own on it. That's it.
Hey, Gary, why would you agree to that?
Because I was being a nice guy. I really
come
was.
on.
I was.
That's
I
silly.
Big mistake.
No, but I was being a nice guy because I should have said no fucking way. And I'm like, all right, just don't use it. He goes,
All
I
right,
promise.
listen to Gary and Scott DePace on the wrap-up show. It really is good. And then I got to take a break because we've gone an hour and 14 minutes without a break.
Howard asked Gary point blank, "Can you trust Depace ever again?" And Gary said no. Why?
Why he
don't
doesn't
you
care. That's
no, but
awesome.
why don't you care?
Because he's
Why should
Scott.
I?
He's the be-all, end-all.
Because what am I going to walk away here? I did something great for the show, and Gary's pissed at me, and I'm going to somehow walk away here crying, all upset that Gary doesn't trust me anymore. I could give a shit.
Nobody's asking you to cry.
But it's a guy you worked with hand in hand for almost 20 years.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that this has happened. I've apologized, and now suddenly, he can't trust me anymore. I'm Benedict Arnold, so fine, fuck it.
Do you think this affects the trust that Howard has in you?
Dude, Howard was in on the whole fucking thing, so I don't care. I really just.
This is ridiculous.
He throws everyone under the bus. He's such a pussy.
And if you're not under the bus, he'll drag you under the bus.
He's so busy pointing fingers, he doesn't have enough of them. He's pointing so many times in
Every
so
minute,
many ways.
Howard, John Hine.
Yeah.
Keep listening.
Everybody.
My word is a big deal, but at the same point, I didn't see it as like, that God, it's been 10 years since the original deal was struck.
That's not true either.
Yeah, it was.
It's not.
Was
It's
back at K-Rock.
It was, again, you're missing
the original deal, I said.
Okay, and then the second time we re-upped the
5
deal
years ago.
was about 4.5 years ago, which, again...
So your word has a shelf life.
Right, yes.
Oh.
Right, you have integrity until it's too funny for you.
What's the expiration date on your word?
4 years and we passed that date.
1/11, go fuck yourself. That's the date.
Wow, I mean, it got really ugly, and Depace just goes crazy.
You went on there and you wouldn't just apologize.
Because
it's so
that's not
simple.
me. I'm not a
because
girl.
we did something
I'm
wrong.
not gonna
I acknowledge it.
So Howard apologizing to Spade today, was that a girl? Was that like a girl move?
No, again, that's not my thing. Apology is not the point. The fact that Doug, he apologized when Gary wasn't even mad at him. That's my fucking issue. It's really
I was
easy.
mad at him.
He was mad at me on Thursday.
I was fucking mad at him.
I was going to wait actually till today to apologize. I was going to let him cool
If
off.
you feel that way, Scott, then why did you apologize to Gary at all?
Because he feels that people want him to. He doesn't want to look
Well,
bad.
hold on. Let him answer.
I
said, if you feel that way about apologies, why did you apologize to Gary in the first place?
I don't feel that way about apologies.
You just said it's girly.
Because Doug was apologizing when it wasn't even a big issue. I'm saying I apologized for my role in this, but Gary's got to know I'm 1/10 of this fucking thing. That's what I want to fucking say.
He was just fighting for his life. Listen to this.
I'm not going to accept the blame twice. Once because he's attacking the wrong person, and two because you're not taking the blame. So,
but he did take the blame.
I took it to Gary in private. I took it on the air. Said it again today.
Then I want an apology.
Now you want an apology?
I owe you an apology from
Who do
Gary.
you want an apology from?
Why do you want an apology from me?
Because you're attacking me.
But after Doug apologized to me, he didn't go on the radio and explain to me why I'm nuts, why I'm wrong, and why it's everyone else's fault.
Well, I'm just setting things straight. I'm just letting you know who really threw you under. And I threw you under.
And Doug.
If I'm going to put this in things, Doug is probably 75%, maybe 20.
It's going down every minute.
John Hine has a percentage.
Oh,
Will
my
has
God.
a percentage.
Hine, just because
They
he
all
looked
knew
at it.
No. Howard had a percentage. He knew it. They all did. They all knew. And
John, what percentage do you take of responsibility?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to apologize to Scott because clearly he's going to want an apology from me. I take no
John has
blame.
nothing to do
saying,
with it, Scott.
Scott just starts naming names.
Yeah. Pretty soon, everybody who works here will be on the list.
He like
Set
busts.
the record straight. I'm just, figuring it out for you.
Yeah, but it's not even about
Figuring
that
it
anymore.
out.
Gary knows exactly who's to blame. His problem with you is that you just keep fucking fighting him and telling him what a piece of shit he is and trying to reverse the whole thing.
Look, I'm going to take responsibility for my part of it. That's it.
It's 10%.
It's 10%.
He's like one of the guys in Nixon's White House. Remember they all sort of pointing fingers at each other?
Right. Scrambling like rats.
Tape that Doug brought it to you. I merely explained our situation.
All right.
That was it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm leaving now, but I thought about it more overnight, and Scott really should have said, hey, I made this thing with Gary. We can't do this because I promised. And he didn't really try that hard.
He did not.
And then because he says, oh, it's Doug.
But let's not lose sight of you sleeping at work.
And I haven't.
Exactly. Stay awake.
Your friend Depace says stay away.
If there were a camera on Scott, Howard, we'd be doing weeks of material here.
Right. But he's smart enough not to have a camera on him.
Well, that could be fixed.
Okay.
And so, Scott, am I allowed to tape you without you?
On me, 24 hours a day. Put a camera. No, that's not true. Put a camera on me here.
All right.
Okay, that's a dumb thing to allow me to do, but let's do that.
No, you do it.
I am going to do it. I'm going to walk in and tape you when you don't know what's going on over your shoulder, and I can show Howard all the interesting things you do.
Aren't you kind of busy working to do that, Gary?
Imagine like Scott was like on the side of the Nazis in World War II, and like, okay, so Hitler comes to him and says, look, I got to kill some Jews. And so Scott is the architect of the gas showers at Buchenwald. He figures out how to make efficient gas showers.
No, you want to put the gas this way.
And then at the trial, at the Nuremberg trial or something, Hitler's there, let's say.
All I did was make the oven.
Right,
Look,
right.
I said put the drain over there. That's all I did.
And Scott would be like, look, He came to me. He wanted a shower. I don't know what he's going to use it for.
Hell, Goebbels was in on it. Albert Speer was in on it.
I admit I'm responsible for building a shower.
You knew there was poisonous gas that was going to be leaking into the shower.
Hitler was in on it.
I don't know what they're going to do with it.
I saw 5,000 Jews walk.
Your analogy is perfect, but in this case, Doug is Hitler. And I'm saying for Gary to yell at Goebbels or wherever you said the hell I was, he should be yelling at Hitler.
No, you're just the architect of the gas chamber. Actually...
You're Leni Riefenstahl.
Yeah.
Sounds like that chick Nazi director.
All right. And then at the trial, Scott demands an apology from the Jews for accusing him. For insulting him and insulting his integrity.
I'm driving a truck right now. My point was that I love the show, and the best of the week shouldn't be your guys' show. It should be the wrap-up show, because that is the most amazing thing happening right now. Because even Will, I congratulate Will for bringing it back to a head, bringing up some infamous tape that's out there. And that should be...
Yeah, well, that's what Gary called me about, and I can't blame him for being upset. You know...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He can be upset all he wants. It's impossible to do his job and keep private things private when he's got a camera on him, and that he doesn't know that people are taping. And
yeah, it's good radio. All right, Burson, thank you.
Yep.
That's Burson driving truck up in Alberta, but, you know, the connection not so great.
No.
Anyway, let me tackle one topic at a time. I'm all over the place. Yeah, the wrap-up show has gotten very heated up, and, you know, I don't even know how to resolve it at this point, other than I said to Gary, enough then, so change the topic. If you guys keep talking and going over it and over it and over it.
But new details keep coming
out. That's right. That's right. They do.
More offenses or betrayals.
You don't even know. So I get an email from Scott Depace, who's now upset.
He's upset.
Because during the wrap-up show yesterday, now I understand. I didn't even know what Scott was really telling me. He sent me a picture of the radio while they were discussing it. Scott goes, Jason put up a poll whether or not Scott sucks.
Oh.
Now, I didn't know what he meant by a poll. I thought he was...
That's not it at all.
Yeah, what is it? I don't even know what you were complaining about.
The PDT is what on your radio it says.
Yeah, but you said someone took a poll.
Well, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
But that's what you wrote me.
No, what I said was, shouldn't it be up to the audience to decide whether I suck or not? Jason wrote up Depace sucks. That's the PDT.
Oh.
Yes, okay, all right, now I understand. Now I'm starting. I didn't listen. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
And Howard, that was during the regular show, not during the wrap-up show.
Right.
And now they're telling me to replay.
Okay. Well, I happen to agree with Scott that, you know, to put up Depace sucks is an editorial comment from... Did you put a question mark next to Depace sucks, or did you...
No, but it also wasn't an editorial comment. I mean,
it seemed editorial.
First of all, the thing was Depace sucks while Gary sleeps. And it was just... I went back and reread that section of the log, and the whole crust of the conversation was everyone in this studio telling Depace that he sucked. So that's how I put it up. I mean, I've been doing this for 4.5 years. No one's complained once, and Tim signs off on all of this.
Well, my wife sees it on the radio. She says, "What is this that you suck?" And I go, "You know what? That's right. What the hell is that?"
Well, if you had called me, I could have explained it to you.
Sleeping, not about me sucking. What the?
That was the crux of the conversation. It was not editorial.
But I know you and Scott don't get along, and you always tweak them. It seemed like it was an editorial comment. I mean,
if it was, I'd love tweaking Scott. I mean, I pat myself on the back. Originally, I wrote Scott.
Put that on your show, Jason, not on Howard.
I originally wrote Depace is a moron. Gary sleeps, and I thought that was too harsh, so I changed it to sucks. I sent again. Everybody signs off on this. I don't just put up the PDT without running it by Tim and other people here. And
all right. Well, it did come off in the wrong way because it seems like because you guys have had your thing, and then it seemed like you were saying Depace sucks.
Oh, wow. It was
as the guy who editorializes.
I only say Depace sucks on the air.
Right, but you said it on the PDT. So anyway,
it wasn't coming from me personally, but okay, I see what you're saying. Right. I see what Scott's saying.
Got it. So anyway, I get that email last night. So I said, I wrote back to Scott, well, that does seem like you're right. It shouldn't say Depace sucks. I'll talk to Gary and Tim about it and find out. I don't even know how. I didn't even know who did what. I didn't know the PDT. I thought he meant on the website they were taking a poll. I don't know what he meant.
Right.
So
but he's
throwing it up to a pole.
Right. It seemed to me that he was correct, Scott. He's having an argument with Gary, and Jason to write Depace sucks or Scott sucks.
Doesn't describe the action.
Right. It's more of a comment. So anyway, I was dealing with that, and I said, I'll have to find out and get to the bottom of this. I don't... And then Gary wrote me back and just said he was more furious with Scott than ever, and he could give a shit what they write on the PDT about Scott.
He didn't even care about
He
it.
did. Tim never wrote me back. I just heard from Gary.
Tim's keeping his head down.
So I went, well, I don't have an ally there. I mean, I'm trying to straighten this thing out.
Nobody's helping you there.
Nobody's helping me there. So his point of view was that evidently Scott, this camera that they had on Gary, has been something that has been ongoing for years. And it might be that Scott Depace then had to go on the wrap-up show. He told me he wasn't going on the wrap-up show anymore. Next thing I know, he's in there.
He can't stay out of there.
No,
I think
he's his own worst enemy.
likes it.
Well, he does.
I can't sit back and let them talk about me like
You
that.
like it.
It's so frustrating to hear them saying this crap that's just not true.
Well, you told me you weren't going in there.
And I hate it. I hate that I do, but I can't sit back.
Well, anyway, so he can't sit back. Next thing I know, he's in there. And the two of them are going at it again. And then Depace, in another brilliant move, tells Gary that they've had a reel of stuff about Gary, and they've witnessed many private moments of Gary's, and that they all sit and look at it.
They talked about private moments that they've witnessed. And again, when he was saying it on the air yesterday, I'm thinking to myself, my God, any human would have turned off the camera because that's not for you guys to see, and the camera shouldn't be in there. And instead, they're sitting there and watching stuff that they know they shouldn't be looking at.
Why did you admit that?
Can I explain this?
Why did you admit that?
I'll tell you what happened.
You got caught up again.
I'll tell you what happened.
I heard what happened.
No, well, you just got it wrong, what you said.
I just listened to it.
There is no reel that I know of that I've ever seen in my life. On the life of my kids.
But Scott, what about the stuff where you talked about how our agent came in? And
Exactly. Now, let me get to that, Gary. Okay, first of all, I want to point out to everyone, there is no audio in that room. We have no audio. So all it is a camera we're talking about. That's first of all. Second of all, a live camera, it's on all the time.
Right.
I have a monitor as well as monitors for all the cameras in here.
Right.
Now, on that particular day, your agent had went into Gary's office. I saw that. Someone else pointed it out as well. I said, you know what, guys, we can't be looking at that. And I shut the monitor off.
Right.
And that was that. So all in all, I saw Don was here in the building. That was it.
Right.
And I could have saw that if I saw him in the hall.
But you saw him in my office, and why would you bring that up to hold over my head yesterday?
I did not bring it up Hold on.
Scott said, hey, Gary, I've seen a lot of things that I haven't talked about on the air.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
That's what you did say. I just listened to the clip.
What I was talking about is Doug said that he didn't know that this deal existed between Gary and I, and I'm saying that's bullshit. And I was using that as an example to show how Doug said we can't, look at that or whatever.
So anyway, this thing is going on and on and on. So I said to Gary this morning, why don't you just drop the topic? It's enough already. And he said, no, he recognizes that. I don't know. What did you say? I don't even remember what you said.
You can't just drop the topic because it looks bad to the audience. I can talk. Listen, it's not talking about it that's bothering me. It's the fact that it happened. And so it'll just die the way, it'll just go its natural death. For us to just stop talking about it wouldn't be the way we do the show.
But Gary, so that you know, man, I never had anything to do with making a display of your camera. I never showed anyone anything. I don't have anything to do with this. And for you to put the anger at me is just bullshit. It's a live camera. There's a monitor in front of me. For me not to have seen it, what do you want me to do? Somehow put a block in my eye that shows that monitor?
You didn't mention yesterday that you shut it off. That's a new wrinkle that you slept on.
Fine. Whatever, man. It's the truth. So,
I don't know what's the truth from you anymore. That's the truth from me.
Of course, from me, but everyone else, the truth is exactly like it is, right? You trust everyone but me. You've got misplaced anger is what you have.
Thanks to you. You've managed to take your good friend Doug Goodstein down with you, because, I'm mad at him now, too, but you worked really hard to get there. So
what did Will do? How about Will bringing it up yesterday? Why would Will bring that up? Will brought this whole other thing up.
I can't deal with you because you're not a responsible person.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to take the whole shit. I'm not going to... Dude, it's not me.
You won't take... Of course, nothing's you. You won't take any portion of it. Don't pull me into an office ever again, you piece of shit.
Yeah. I don't want to be in an office with you, you piece of shit.
You pull me in and you go...
To try to make up for this stuff.
All you wanted to do was, again, explain to me how it's not your fault, my anger's misdirected, could I please forgive you so you can feel better about yourself?
From day one, Gary, I've accepted my piece of this. And that's it. I'm not accepting all of it, which you want me to do.
Let's do an audience poll and see if they think you've accepted it.
Dude, all the polls that I've seen, by the way, are on my side. So, whatever. Take a poll, whatever you want.
What polls?
There's a couple that I've been informed of on Stern Fan Network that are on my side. Whatever,
There
man.
is a CNN poll going on.
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, Wolf Blitzer took one. Last night I saw that. Well, look, anyway...
The camera's gone. If Gary would accept...
You know what? Here's the deal. It's gone forever now, so don't bother with the box.
Okay.
There's no obligation on my end to have you have a camera on me.
Okay, sure.
That was
saves us $1,500.
What $1,500?
I was going to have to buy a box. And by the way, there is no box here. It's gone. It's missing.
I don't even know what anyone's saying.
I don't either.
There's a device that will allow... When Gary hits his mic to you, it would trigger his camera so that we then could see it for a certain amount of time. And that device was made, wasn't ever hooked up. That's why this whole problem happened.
Yeah, well,
and now
that's
Gary
easy to hook up, and that's what you should have on.
Yeah, well, we need to buy a box and
so buy the box.
And that's what you should have done 4 years ago.
That's right. And I told Gary, you shouldn't allow that. If he had come to me, I would have said, they can buy a box and do it the right way. You shouldn't have a camera on you 24 hours a day. I wouldn't allow that on me. I mean, I go in my office, you should see what I'm doing in there. Picking my ass, pick my nose, sleeping. I sleep nonstop back there. I put in an hour yesterday of work back there, sleeping.
But there could easily be a tape of everything that goes on in here because these cameras are never off.
By the way, Gary, a lot of the interns are very loud lately when I'm sleeping.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of giggling.
I'll make a note of that.
A lot of laughing women back there. First, I thought it was you laughing because you usually have a loud laugh.
I wasn't
but it wasn't you. I was coming out and looking for you, and then I saw you weren't there. It wasn't you. I said, I said to JD, who is that laughing? Who is doing Robin's laugh?
Oh.
And JD said, no, it's some of the girls are having fun. So no fun around here.
That's right. Let's put a stop to that.
Right. No more fun. When I leave, there should be fun. It's just I'm very sensitive about a woman's laugh. Whenever I hear a woman's laugh, I assume they're laughing at me. All right? It triggers something.
Reminds you.
Reminds me of my earlier days.
Your adolescence.
Yeah. I left here yesterday. That was going on. And when I got a note from Scott, and he wants the PDT fixed.
Look, it was just something my wife called me, said, what is this on here? You suck. And I go, I have no idea. And I turned my radio on.
So I said to Gary, what's going on with it? He didn't want it. He was happy.
Yeah. Well, that's why. And Howard, normally I wouldn't have even went to you, but I realized he wasn't going to be my friend in this, so I had to just
No way. Forget it, friend.
Let's be honest. I didn't say anything about the PDT.
No, you didn't.
I just said, I'm so furious. I didn't say good or bad or otherwise.
That's true. That is right. I just knew Gary was the wrong guy to discuss it with.
Well, what do we do about this? Now, I mean, I guess it has to work itself out because these two are angry with each other.
I'm not mad with Gary.
Hold it. I was talking to Howard.
Sorry, Robin. It's the last thing I wanted someone else to not like me now.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to do.
We won't be able to see Gary anymore when we're talking to him.
No, we'll see Gary, but he's got to put the box in.
No, he said he doesn't want a box.
Oh, you don't want a box, Gary?
I don't think so, Howard. I mean, unless you say you really need it.
I don't see how you're going to do the TV show if I can't see Gary. In other words, then he's got to walk in here each time?
I want to have the ability to turn it on and shut it off.
Well, that's the box.
And shut it off as well.
Oh. But you don't want that, because what if you forget to shut it off, and then we're back in the same boat?
Or forget to turn it on.
That's right. That's why a timer always worked well.
You want an automatic turn-off.
We had a 5-minute timer.
Let's make it a 3-minute timer. Okay?
Whatever you want, Gary.
Well, why don't you just make it like a 10-second timer after he hits the button off?
A lot of times, if he's not talking to you and you're still talking about him, I want to see him.
So, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2-minute timer.
Okay, that'll be restrictive.
Why don't you just make a box that if he takes a nap, it automatically shuts off?
Best solution.
A nap switch.
Yeah.
Napster.
And, you know, I think also Gary's upset that people's perception might be that he sleeps back there all the time. He fell asleep one time in 40 years.
Right.
It's
I've never seen that. And that's another thing, too.
That's right. Actually, you can come to his aid on this. Have you ever seen another instance where
I don't know that there's even another example of something that I've seen. I've never even seen him pick his nose. So I don't know why this is, I mean, you know, Gary...
Because he feels people's perception of him will be that he's a guy who sleeps at work.
I feel like he has done some stuff that we've missed.
Here's what I say.
Well, go back and check the tapes.
We don't tape it.
The secret tapes that you have that you don't have.
Listen, my skin is very thick. I throw the first pitch, everybody makes fun of me, I take it. You want to make fun of my teeth, I take it. But you went directly at my work ethic and my job, which is more important to me than anything. And you consciously went after it, and then you said you were willing to take the hit, and now you're not willing to take the hit.
No, I've always been willing to take my part of the hit. Yep. And by the way, I'd also like to point out that work ethic exactly is what angered me about a lot of the arguments that happened here, and you had no problem with that. So that is what I was saying about you.
Wait a second. You see, that's where you screw up.
I don't.
Listen, you had a camera on the guy. You were part of a pact that you made with Gary. Accept it and leave it alone. No, you go. Around here, everybody makes fun of my work ethic.
He just made a comment that because I attacked his work ethic, that's why it hurts.
You didn't attack his work ethic. You took a tape and you taped a camera.
I didn't, by the way. But go ahead.
All right. But you guys, and you were part of this pact. You understand why he's upset.
Yeah, and I've said that.
You could criticize his work ethic all day, but then you had tape to back it up. That's what he's upset about.
Okay.
You understand?
No.
And you made a pact with him that camera would never be recorded, that you would never use it against
unless
him.
he was on the air.
Right. So he's upset.
I get that part.
And when you start fucking saying it's Goodstein and this one, he knows that, but he just wants
Apparently he doesn't, because
he does know it. But you're so irritating because you can't just say, yeah, I had something to do with this. I'm fucking wrong. Boom.
I've said from day one that I had something to do with this. I never denied saying that the
when
deal...
you deny, you always say but. And the but is what gets you in trouble. But it's everyone else, and but it's but. Just shut up and just say, yeah, I did this.
Yeah,
I did it. I accept my responsibility in this. You came to me with the tape with Doug Goodstein, and I said, okay.
Oh, Howard, come on. That's sort of disingenuous.
That's not disingenuous. That's exactly what happened. You guys
he's
going to
be angry at you, the star of the show.
He is angry with me.
Oh, come on.
And he has every right to be.
Yeah. I'm sure
I did the wrong thing.
I'm sure you got a scathing email.
No, I did the wrong thing. I went to Gary immediately. I said, I did the wrong thing. When I heard there was a tape of you sleeping, I made a judgment that you wouldn't care and that it was funny for the show and it was good. But
and
when
I
you
made
put
that same judgment.
That's right. So don't every time you say to Gary...
And Doug made that same judgment.
And Doug went in and said, I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry. He didn't say, it was really Scott Depace. It was really Howard.
All of us did the wrong thing.
You're the only one who can't man up.
No, that's bullcrap.
You're the only one.
I'm back in the control room. Gary didn't so much as look at Doug. He goes right to me.
No.
And that's misdirected.
I did go right to Scott because, once again, you came to me to ask my permission, and I had the conversation with you, so I felt that you and I had the pact. Whether Doug is part of it, and I realize he was now, it was about you and me.
And after I cleared it up...
It's not cleared up, because you should have stopped it, because you should have said,
whatever,
you know what, I fucking gave Gary my word.
All right, hey, Gary, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. No buts, that's it.
I got to tell you...
Now don't accept it, that's that.
The whole day yesterday, I kept thinking, I kept wondering where the term blockhead comes from.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I thought of you, because talking to you is like talking to a block.
Oh, a big cinder block, is that it?
It is, like trying to explain something, talking to a cinder block.
Do I have to take all this shit?
The only thing I would get less...
How he feels.
Well, how I feel is that I'm not going to take all the blame for this. Why is that wrong?
You're not taking all the blame.
I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
Now you're into an area that is beyond what the original argument was.
You guys are the crazy ones.
This is how I would have handled it if I was you. I'll give you a life lesson. Gary, I made a pact with you. I broke it. I was wrong. I did the wrong thing.
Said that to him.
Not Howard, not Doug.
I did. Right in your office, right after the segment happened. Right in your office.
What's the PDD say right now, that PDT?
Depace sucks, probably.
It says blockhead.
Depace is a blockhead.
It says Scott's a cinder block.
You said some of those things, not all of those things, and then you went on to talk about how, again, it was everybody else's fault.
I wanted to clarify the situation.
Stop clarifying.
Which I wasn't able to do on the air
Scott,
because you guys were all attacking
clarifying.
me. Well, that's the guy I am. I'm not going to take the blame for someone else's
You're not
thing.
taking all the blame.
Yeah, I am.
Take blame for your part in it and be done.
And I've done that.
Stop whining about John Hine, Will.
Oh, that was more. That was more sort of a joke.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's how you act.
It was.
And by the way,
why don't we just all agree to hate each other and then move on with the show?
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
In all of this going on and on and on, it should have been over the first day. I'd be mad. I'd already be done being mad. In all of this clarifying and reclarifying, here's some of the things I found out. They've been watching me on this camera all the time, even when they don't need it.
Not exactly true.
That he would never do this to Will because he just likes Will better. So
not exactly true. No,
That's what you did say. I heard the tape.
See, again, what I said is that Will and I are closer friends. So I, as a friend, would put up more of a fight than I would for Gary. That's absolutely the truth.
You are so retarded. Why are you doing this?
I speak the truth.
You're
That's
sticking
why
a knife
a
into
question
the
was
fucking
asked to
guy.
me. I don't fucking care. A question was asked to
So
me.
you're saying Gary doesn't matter to you?
No, I on a scale
Scott,
of 1 to 10,
you're
I put up a
self-destructing.
fight. I put up a fight, but not that.
Have you ever been in a deposition?
No.
You would be the worst. A lawyer
'Cause
would
I-
have to just say we lost the case.
It's like I speak truth serum. I tell the truth.
No,
I don't care.
You just keep
If he
going
was a witness
deeper
for the
and
prosecution, the defendant would go free.
deeper. You know what you're like? In a deposition, they tell you answer yes or no.
Yeah.
You were like, you had a question had
was
nothing to do
asked
with
me.
Will, and all of a sudden now you're defending Will
a
and saying Will's
direct
a better
question was
friend.
asked to me on the wrap-up show. If it were Will, would you have defended him more?
And you say,
I said yes.
treat everyone equally.
Well, that's not truth.
It's
That's
not?
the truth.
You would be kinder to Will than Gary?
Will is one of my closest friends here, yeah.
And so you got Will's back, but not Gary's.
I had both of their backs. I
All right,
raised
listen,
an argument
listen,
with
you gotta
Doug,
stop talking.
but not as much.
Stay
Is
out-
all I'm saying.
You
I
gotta stop talking.
don't care. I'm not going to sit here and be a pussy and not fucking tell you the truth.
It's not that true. You're going into areas you don't even have to go into.
I was asked a question. I answered it. That's it.
Wow. I keep trying to dig you out of this hole, and I can't get you out.
Keep pulling sand back in.
It's impossible to help you. You're beyond help.
Have you ever heard of the term that, sometimes something
That's what
need
Robin calls
not
me an idiot
be
now.
said if it's going to hurt people more? You didn't have to disclose that.
That's what I mean. You went
This
there.
is what, people are saying this to you because you're hurting
Howard
people.
has taught me that
No, I haven't
honesty
taught you a
is-
thing.
Scott, you don't see that by giving that answer that you would back up Will before you back up Gary doesn't hurt your argument somewhat?
Absolutely.
Doesn't it show that you have a natural bias?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what does that mean to you?
Everything
that means
he
maybe.
said practically
It's
says
the
he has
truth.
problems with Gary.
All right, listen to me. Listen to me.
And Gary would do the same. I guarantee
Say
you.
what?
If it were the opposite, Gary would defend, say, Jason before he would defend me.
No, Gary would have never broken his pact with you.
Oh, shit. God, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Everybody breaks pacts around here.
Gary probably would have.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm wrong.
He would have been both. There's some great tape
And
of
just
Scott
like
Depace.
just like you would protect Robin before you would protect me. It's obvious.
Listen, if I make a pact with Robin or I make a pact with the lowest roach on the planet, I stick to it. That's one thing I do. Now, am I glad
So
I
what
saw
about-
the tape of
all
Gary
right.
sleeping?
So
I
ye-
have to admit I am.
So yesterday,
And you knew that he had a pact with others. But
I
he
didn't
didn't
know.
have a pact with you.
Right, that's right. But I'm still wrong.
That's
and I
right.
accept
Because
full responsibility.
You accepted the stolen goods, is what
I
you
did.
did.
I am wrong. I'm guilty as charged, and Gary has every right to be angry with me. I accept full responsibility.
Ditto.
When the tape was brought, no, don't
Ditto.
When the tape was brought to me, I did the wrong thing. That's it. I have no other statement. Not whether
Okay.
Depace or
Here's-
Goodstein or anyone.
Here's my
All
statement.
right, let's hear it. Now, after 5 days of this, let's hear your
Gary,
statement.
I apologize to you for breaking my word.
Right.
I also apologize to you for not defending you more when Doug wanted to bring the tape to Howard.
Here you go again. Forget Doug.
And then I apologize to you for agreeing to come in here and talk to Howard
Listen,
about
you're the worst at this. Stop.
Jason, put up Scott Sucks on the TDT.
See, now that's fine because you said it. You can put that out.
Gladly.
All right, look. I don't know what to do about any of this.
I don't know either.
Well, All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. This has been going on for 5 days now. How many days is this going on, by the way?
Thursday.
Since Thursday of last week. So we've almost on a week on this topic. Wow.
Gary is thin-skinned, right?
Gary is thin-skinned? So you got to dig in on Gary.
He's always got to take a shot.
Yeah.
Gary is the thickest-skinned person around here.
Absolutely.
He is. He's been called an ape.
The breath, the teeth.
The gums.
Oh, my God.
Hair.
The hair.
The masks he has to wear during the Sibian rides.
Yep.
Techno beaver.
Well, that's good.
This is almost longer than the 6-Day War, this entire thing. They're pissed. I get it.
That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. That's like if, an 80-year-old guy beat my ass.
Yeah. How do you get over that? You're going to go back and try again, right?
Right. And again until I win. Oh, my God. It's like sometimes when I'm playing chess and you play these little short blitz games and I beat a guy 5 times in a row and they keep challenging you until they win one.
Yeah.
And then they feel vindicated and then they log
Then
off.
it's like, all right, I got to go.
Right. Yeah. Hey, see, I beat you. I'm like, well, I beat you 5 times.
I'm leaving on a win.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that's that story. I think Gary's so upset he buzzed out of the whole conversation. Right, Gary?
Yeah, and now I got to listen to Depace in the hallway, laugh and snicker and talk to the camera, and it's just more fucking annoyance.
Is that what he's doing?
He's out there, he's like, hey, listen, I want to give my opinion. They can't take blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it sickens me. It really does. It makes me fucking ill.
Right.
I was doing a stupid interview. What happened?
No, it's just Gary's saying like he just gave up because like now you're out in the hall laughing and giving your opinions.
There's nothing sincere about you, is what he's saying.
Yeah, it's hard for him to sit and listen.
I was laughing because Ronnie disturbed us in the middle of the interview. Said, "Why are you going to do it in the middle of the hall?" He got all pissed off at that.
Why is he directing traffic out there?
Yeah,
I want you to be interviewed.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't get by. Apparently, there was 3 of us.
He can't get by.
In a like a big turn in the hallway.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Sorry, Gary.
No, he's gone. He's had it with you.
Enough of your apology.
I mean, because Howard beat you publicly.
I've learned from my ways.
Right. But again, Scott, you realize that nothing you said you really meant earlier. It's just that Howard embarrassed you on the air to saying it because you still haven't come. You still don't really believe what you said.
Gary, I've apologized to you 3 times. You haven't accepted it. So what more can I do?
Hey, Gary, how bad is this right now? Like, let's say, like on a scale of angry, I've never seen you this angry. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you a 10 right now at him?
11.
An 11. All right, let me ask you this.
I gotta say, last night my wife and I were talking. My wife is like, "You should go to fucking Human Resources. They're spying on you." Like, it's just, I really feel like they're fucking watching me.
Hey, Gary.
Dude, it was a camera that you left on. What am I to do?
Well, I didn't leave it on. I gave you
But you knew it was there. It's not a hidden camera. That would be a human resources issue.
I got it. And listen, she's wrong, but she's as mad as I am. And
Hey, Gary, going to Human Resources is kind of girly.
wouldn't say I would do that. I'm just saying.
I know, but I mean
well, his wife was just speaking.
Human Resources set up because guys like pinch women's ass at work and so make sexual comments. That's what that's for.
First of all,
or they put the camera in a ladies' room.
Right, yeah, right. Well, Mary's girly, so you can't blame her.
Mary's a girl.
Yeah, Mary's such a girl.
She should man up.
Man up. Grow a set of balls.
It's also a little girly to write letters to Howard after your wife sees the PDT.
That's true, too.
Look, hey, no, it's not. If I hear Jason doing a show that's not his show to do, then that pisses me off.
All right, hey, guys. Gary, I'm trying to understand the level of, like annoyance. Are you at the point that if you, had a party at your house and you invited everyone from the show, would you leave him out?
Absolutely. But he wouldn't come, which works perfectly.
Right, so you wouldn't invite him, though?
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you what, if you invited me, I would come.
All right, can I ask you something?
I'm not as mad at you as you are.
If you saw Scott Depace choking on something, would you deliver the Heimlich or would you tell him to go fuck himself?
I would deliver the Heimlich.
You would?
Oh, so he's not going to die.
Yeah, who wants his death on my fucking conscience?
All right, let me ask you this. If there was a death in Scott's family, would you go to the funeral?
Give me the relative.
I think only if it's Scott.
All right, his wife.
I like her.
Yeah, but would you go there to comfort him?
Now, Scott's going to be there, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott is. He'll probably playing golf.
Yeah, it depends.
You're going to give me a hug?
Those kids, they're all right. They're with their grandmother.
So I'm there crying. Are you going to hug me?
I'll shake your hand. I wouldn't hug you anyway. You wouldn't appreciate a hug. You think it's gay, so I'd shake your hand.
Let me ask you, here's a question for you. If you have a party, is Doug Goodstein invited?
Probably.
Jesus.
And the other
what
thing,
went wrong
I'll
here?
tell you the weirdest thing. So Scott and I go to the same garage. So yesterday I was like a little bit mad yesterday, and I saw him, and he's like, do you want me to walk on the other side of the street? And I sort of did want him to, but I was like, all right, I'll be, let me see if I can't get past this. But this morning when I drove in, I was like, if I see him, I'm just walking across the street. I won't walk to work with him.
Can I ask you one more time now? What changed from today? It was the Don Buchwald thing?
Yeah, bringing that up and basically, in essence, throwing it in my face.
I don't get that.
Like you did me some big favor by not talking about a private meeting you shouldn't have been watching anyway.
And I, by the way, I didn't watch it and couldn't hear it, so I don't know what.
I get it, but you tried to explain how you're a good guy because there's other things that you've seen that you haven't talked about. So look at what a good guy I am.
No, see again.
All that tells me is
I don't know
watching
I don't know how you got that from what I was.
Because I heard the tape. You did say that.
I was answering a question that Doug had pointed that he didn't know that there was such a deal. So anyway. And
So
Will
you
should have
would-
never
so
brought that
Gary-
up. Are you mad at Will for bringing it up? Because Will, in a sense, brought all that up, right?
Absolutely not mad at Will. You opened the door to all of this.
You're unbelievable.
No, you opened the door to all of this. And then the other thing, again, the whole thing about like, well, I would never do that to Will. He's my friend, which is basically saying you're not my friend.
That's stronger than how I put it. I said
It's the same
I defended.
conclusion.
I told Doug, let's not do it.
So why go to his wife's funeral then?
Because I like her.
Yeah, but
she's dead. She's dead. It's only about Scott.
What about my
Scott
funeral?
isn't around.
What about my funeral?
Would you go to Scott's funeral?
Sure, you kidding? Tap dance on the coffin.
He'd be singing karaoke.
You would go to tap dance.
Wow. And you guys think this is all rational?
Yeah.
You're encouraging.
No. I get what he's saying. You don't really get it. You're just not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Too dumb. You better
No,
take
it's
that
not dumb.
bet
It's
back.
an emotional thing. Like, you're very well guarded. Like you're like kind of defensive and you're not getting what he's saying. He's not listening to you to hear about what Doug did or what I did or what anyone else
You're not
did.
validating anything that he's saying.
Yeah,
Even the saying he should be angry at Will.
Yeah, I mean,
who
it's-
is your friend.
You're always deflecting. That's
Will
your problem.
only told him something you guys were up to.
You don't know how to make a sincere apology. That's the other thing. Every apology
Gary
is done with a
just
smirk.
said that he was mad at me yesterday for bringing something else up.
Right.
And all I'm saying is that Will was the one who brought it up, not me.
Yes, but you verified it.
Well, oh, Jesus.
You said you used it against him. You know what you said? You went, that's right, I'm a good guy. You should see all the things I'm seeing that I don't bring to Howard.
It was, and Jason going, they have a whole clip reel. I've seen it, blah, 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 which it doesn't exist.
Right.
Jason's talking out his ass.
Wow. I should chain you guys together for 24
No way.
hours and videotape it.
Like Tony Curtis and
Somebody's
Sidney
cutting off
Poitier.
an arm.
Gary, if you saw Depace being raped with a baseball bat.
That wouldn't happen, by the way.
Well, let's just say it was like
if it's 12 guys holding you down.
12 guys holding you down. And like Gary,
He's so manly, he's incapable of being raped.
right.
I know it would take more guys to rape me than it would you.
Oh, boy.
Jesus Christ, he's competitive.
Let's see. All right. Let's see who put them in a room.
That's the
and
ultimate
we'll see
game
how
show.
many guys it takes to get each of them raped.
You know how like oddly competitive he is. Like this has been brewing for a couple weeks. You know how oddly competitive he is. He walked up to me about 3 weeks ago, and he just goes, "Bet you my credit score is better than yours."
It was a joke.
Oh my God, what's the matter with you?
It's a joke. I am very
competing on
You
credit
just
score.
walked up to him out of the
Because
blue?
he did a commercial for the credit score company or whatever, and I just said, I wonder, how's your credit score? And he said, perfect. And I go, oh, really? Well, mine's pretty good, too.
You said, "I bet you mine is better than yours."
Yeah, because you said perfect.
I said my
All right,
credit
listen, this is ridiculous.
It is.
You compete with everyone around here.
All
All
right.
right.
I'm competitive. That's a good thing in life.
Well, you think it's a good thing.
About credit scores?
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
And how would you determine that? I mean, that
There's a
your
score.
credit score is better.
I was kind of joking, but there's a number
Because you
out
pay
there.
you don't have any outstanding debts. Yeah, and Gary's
But
the
they
same
give
way.
you a number.
And he's going to say, my number's better than your number.
How much you want to bet?
Not a lot, because I've.
How much you want to go toe to toe with the guy? How much you want to bet?
$5.
$5.
I don't. It was more of a joke.
Hey, Sal and Richard want to come in and see if they can get you into a rape position.
All right, go ahead.
No. Don't start.
I'll punch both of them out.
All right. Well, anyway. All right. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Gary.
Sorry, Gary.
No, Gary. I can't even see him now.
Right, we'll never know what he's thinking.
I can't believe that's the one thing, too, out of this.
What?
I said, make sure he doesn't kill the camera. You go, don't worry. And you let that happen.
Listen.
Oh, my.
I don't. Listen, this is ridiculous. I said, don't
He's
worry.
A sieve.
I can't predict Gary's response.
He's just a sieve.
How can I? Gary doesn't do whatever I say. He doesn't. He's got a brain.
In fact, he kept screaming, you said you'd protect me. You said you'd protect me.
He did. Talk about going back on your word.
When did I say I'd protect you? I said I take full responsibility.
No,
and I said it all along.
I said make sure he doesn't, and you go, don't worry.
Gary knows that he had a pact with you. I can't. How am I going to protect you from that?
You that.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm a vampire. I'm going to erase that from his brain. How can I protect you? Protect you? What am I, the Godfather? I can't protect you. I'm a guy. I take full responsibility. Yeah. And if you felt really bad, you know what you should do? You should accept punishment. Go wash Gary's feet.
Yeah.
And lick his bunion.
Lick those toes with the fungus on them.
By the way, Scott has fungus toes, too.
Oh, he does?
I do have one.
Oh.
I don't know, you know.
Both of you. Disgusting.
Doesn't look that bad. It's actually all right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah, anyway, so Beth had this event that she had to go to where...
Dude, you ruined it. I thought we weren't going to say anything. Gary was going to go out and try and be funny.
But I wasn't. I'm going to talk. You have some ideas. Listen, if they call you and say, you know, you have any stories, I would have told those stories. I would have said those don't work, and then we move ahead.
You two got into it yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. Ralph and Gary went at it on the wrap-up show.
I was fucking. You know, I was feeling really bad about that, and I didn't think Gary was feeling bad too. I happened to go to the station and we talked, and you know, I don't know. Me and Gary, you know, I start busting his balls and stuff, and then it gets like serious and takes a really wrong turn, and I didn't mean to get mean. And,
well, if you want to know the truth, like I'm with both of you.
Gary.
Yeah, but I'm with both you guys privately. And like Gary, at least once a day, comes up to me and goes, "You know what? I don't hate Ralph or anything, but that fucking Ralph." And then he goes into a thing about you.
Well, he gets under my skin for certain
things. And then when I'm alone with Ralph, he starts goofing on Gary too. And I mean, the
they're
two
both
of them
guilty.
They're both guilty. They both dislike each other, but they don't want to face it.
And you know what I thought was funny, because Gary's talking about how Ralph has your ear, but he has your ear too.
Ralph sees me once a week for an hour at the most.
Yeah.
Gary has my ear every day. And I hear a lot more about Ralph than I do about Gary.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what
Gary is so paranoid that Ralph, when he gets a hold of me, fills my head up.
I am. Ralph and I talked about that.
I mean, I'll admit, for at least a half hour out of the hour, we sit there and do the Gary impression.
I told Ralph yesterday, we sat down and
as soon as like I'm waiting there for you to get there, I'm doing my thing. You come in, it's immediate. It's
and
like,
I walk in, I see Ralph, I go, "Hello, Wolf. How are you? What's happening? My life's annoying today."
Like Howard, like Ralph and I made up yesterday, but we sat down and we went over all this. And I said, in my mind, there's like a little couch in your room, and Ralph's sitting there with a book, and you sit down and you go, Ralph goes, "This one's an asshole. This one's an asshole. Look at this guy." Like, but I know it's not like that.
Hey, Howard, I'm actually working on that book. Can you write a forward for it?
No. Yeah, here's Ralph. In case you missed it yesterday, here's Ralph and Gary going at it on the wrap-up show. I was very amused.
A lot of name calling.
Yeah, I liked it. A lot of shithead stuff, all kinds of things. Asshole.
Gary started cursing. He started it.
Yeah,
I did.
Gary was really angry.
I went from 0 to 60, no doubt.
Here we go. And for your listening pleasure, what happened on the wrap-up show?
Who did you get to do the red carpet Emmy stuff?
Julie.
Okay. You also could have called me back and told me.
I said I'd call you back. I said, if we're interested, we'll let you know. And then we weren't, and I didn't.
Okay.
You know what? I got to tell you,
that's good producing. You know, I'm trying to help you out.
Should I have called you back and go, "Gee, Ralph, we decided not to use you, but thank you"?
Yeah, that's what I would have done. That's what I think a good.
Who knows what you would do? You never held a job.
Right. But you say that too, and that's so not true.
Well, you never held a job like this job.
You just blurt stupid things out.
So do you.
Well, no, I can back my things up.
You said that you said
I never held
hold
a
on.
job.
Hey,
That's it. Yeah,
you said on Superfan Roundtable the other night that all I do is sleep on the job all the time.
Well,
you just blurt dumb shit out too, fuckhead.
I don't think that.
You think I sleep all the time?
There's videos of you sleeping.
No,
on
there's
the
not
job.
videos of me sleeping. There's one moment, fuckhead.
And fuckhead, that was also.
Also what?
You also closed the door. You put your feet up. It wasn't like you nodded off. You like.
I did. First of all, I didn't
put
put
everything but put a blanket out.
Okay, but Ralph, that's one time. You said you have many videos of me.
I'm fine. No.
Yes, you did. You just 2 seconds ago said there's videos of Gary.
Yeah.
Well, where are they?
And Doug and Scott
again, you wouldn't know. You've never had. You haven't had to be at a job since you were in that fucking parking tent. Where we found you, and the good graces of us gave you a job that you fucked up at Channel 9, and we continue to pay you.
Sporkle, Scrabble, whatever the fuck you're wasting time with.
Right.
So funny.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, it wasn't a parking tent; it was a parking booth. He was in a booth with a gate. He was the guy at the gate, like you hit the button.
You mean the gate he'd raise the gate?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Right, you had a button.
That would have been too much work.
No, he just took the money. There was no gate.
Right.
There was a gate. There was somebody drive up. I'd hand them a ticket, and then on the other side they'd leave, and I'd take the ticket, punch it, and charge them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're no slacker.
No. That was the greatest job. It was outside. I'd wax my car and hang out.
These guys were going at it, man. Here's some more. Here I love fighting.
What is it that you do, Ralph, that's so important to the show? I know that you call and you tell us what we all. Hold on, Ralph, hold on. I know what you call. You call us and tell us. Hold on, I'm talking. I'll fucking talk over you, shithead. I'll talk over you. I'll talk over you. I'm going to finish the sentence and then I'm going to finish this. Hold on, I'm going to finish the sentence and then we can go. You can tell everybody here what they do wrong, including Doug, how he shoots his pictures, Gary, how he produces a show, Jason, how he runs the website. What are your major contributions?
I didn't say I can do everything better than everybody, first of all.
But you tell everyone how they do it wrong.
Right. Well, when they do, I do. So
which is often.
What's your point, though?
I think I just made it. You feel that you can outproduce the show, can be a better photographer than Doug, can do better on the website. These are all things that you can do better than everybody. But why would we know that based on your track record?
First of all, I didn't say that I could be a better photographer than Doug.
You did say you could be a better producer.
I said those were crappy pictures.
You did say you could be a better. Well, that would insinuate.
You just rattle off stuff and then pick and choose.
Hold on, Ralph. To anybody who heard that, it would sound.
Back to your first point. Let me finish now.
Hold on.
The point is what is my contribution to the show? I don't work for the show. I work for Howard TV, and I dress Howard.
Yeah, but we're going to let you on, and you're going to critique it.
All the other stuff I do is just
is extra. You're too good to us.
It's just icing on the cake.
All that free stuff you give us, you're too good to us to give us all the free advice.
I know.
You know what? You should bill us.
Your wrap-up show.
You should bill us for all the contributions you made to the show.
I should, and you should thank me once in a while.
And then it went on even more. They weren't done with each other, these two.
Do you think Gary is a good producer?
For the Howard Stern show, yes.
So do you
By the way, I should give that tape to Dave of Gary sleeping on the job. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, Dave,
here's Gary working.
How's he going to show the pitch and the sleeping all in the same segment?
You could do. You know what? You could
and
be
the
whole
apology
hour.
tape.
If Dave plays it right, he doesn't need a first.
Yeah,
guest.
he just needs tape.
If you give him the apology, the pitch, and you sleeping in the office, I think the guy could have an hour with you.
Certainly, can you throw in some an assortment of monkey suit appearances as well?
I think if Howard calls it quits, Gary won't be able to produce any other type of show.
I don't know. I'm not going to be like Gary and throw a lot of hypotheticals in there because it would depend on the person and the situation. I don't think he could go in and produce the Letterman show, but maybe somebody's going to a similar show to Howard or something, and he could produce that. I mean, obviously Howard wouldn't have him there for how many years, Gary?
26.
26 years if he was a shitty producer.
Well, but the point is, Ralph,
you're just sensitive.
Ralph, the point is,
you're overly sensitive.
I know what Howard thinks of me, and that's not an issue. We talk off the air. I know what he thinks of me. But when I hear you on Superfan Roundtable, just fucking coming at me from God knows the left side, blindsiding me.
Honestly, I was a little.
I don't know. Can you be honest?
I was a little pissed off with you. I heard some things you said about me off the air.
Like
and,
what?
I'm not going to repeat them.
Repeat them. You repeat them. You repeat them, and I'll tell you if I said them or not.
No, because the person who told me, I'm not going to quote unquote out them, and that's it.
Because I don't think there's a thing that's been said off the air that I wouldn't say to your face.
All right. Well, anyway.
And I don't know if what you heard is true.
Well,
but I would tell you.
You know, things when they're said off the air are a little even different than they are on the air. But
no, I don't know. But if you can't hold me responsible for something that you heard I said when I'm giving you the opportunity for me to tell you if I said them.
Yeah, but I'm not.
What's going on here? You're saying that
I'm not going to say who it was and what it was. That's all.
Right, but you don't even know.
I'm just saying I was already a little annoyed.
But you don't even know if it's true or not.
What line is Ralph on?
How do you know?
I do, because I'm smart.
Right,
you're not that smart. You're 10 points lighter.
What line is Ralph on? I just put him on hold. Oh, he's not on the phone. I hung up on him by accident. But
so Ralph and I talked yesterday, and he told me...
Call back, Ralph.
He told me what was said. And, it's something I said during a break in the wrap-up show.
Yeah.
And it was something that I would have said to his face. I joked around...
so Ralph is implying that he has a mole here at the station.
He does.
He does.
Yeah, somebody's...
So when you say something off the air, he gets word.
Almost immediately, by the way.
That's helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Ralph, you have a mole?
No, I have a berry.
Right. Come on, you have a mole?
Yes, I have people who report to me.
I can't imagine what sort of
Who
a
do you
low
think
life...
it is, Gary?
It'd have to be I mean, who would pick up a phone and call Ralph and say, "Do you know that Gary says this about you?" I mean, what kind of a low
life? Do you
life?
have a suspicion who the mole is? Who is against you? You do?
I know who the low life is.
Oh, really?
I'll smoke his ass out.
Who is it?
He'll be in here. He'll come in. He knows who
Sal?
he is. No.
Jason?
No. Jason. And can I tell you what it was that I said? I joked around. Ralph was on the phone, and we were talking about the work we do, and I go, "Oh, there's a guy on line 10 who wants to tell me who to do my job who's never held a job." And so, I would say that to Ralph's face. Ralph said it was a little bit more cutting off the air, which I agree. Oh, here's the mole.
Oh, Depace.
My friend
here. First of all, I'm not a mole. What I said was exactly what you said in the same segment, that he's never held a job in his life.
Hold on. That
was it.
You told him that I said it off the air.
I was talking to Ralph, and he said that I tried to call in to agree with you about the Benji getting here at 5:30 and how Gary doesn't manage. And then I said, yeah, it's funny they didn't take your call. Right after the thing hung up, I said, yeah, why didn't you take Ralph's call that agreed with me? And Gary said, that's coming from a guy who's never held a job in his life.
So that's a mole, asshole. You're a fucking gossip washerwoman.
You said it all the time. It's like not even a big deal. That's crazy.
Scott, you literally called him to tell him what I said.
I did that, you jerk off. I called to talk to him about whatever.
Scott.
Yeah.
You're a mole.
No, I'm not a mole.
Gary said something off the air.
Gary's talking behind people's backs. What the hell is he?
Wait a second. It's like if we were all
you
in
little
here,
deflecting hairless bitch.
And
you cocksucker.
Look, he just turned to deflect. It's my fault
You're
for saying
deflecting.
it.
You're the one who just said he's never held a job in his life. You're deflecting to say I'm the problem?
If we're in here and we're having a meeting, let's say, and Gary brings up a name as a guest, and I go, I don't want that guy who wasn't that funny. If you pick up the phone and call him and tell him I said he wasn't that funny.
That's a horrible analogy. That's not the same thing.
Okay.
This was Gary talking during a break.
Isn't it the same thing, Robin?
Well, this is, again, we're right back where we were when he wouldn't apologize for...
Oh, my God. You guys are idiots. You're all stupid. You're going to say that I'm wrong here?
If we all work together, and Gary says something off the air about Ralph, and you pick up the phone and call Ralph and tell him what
That's not
Gary
exactly
said.
what happened.
Okay, he picked up the phone and called you.
Ralph and I were talking about whatever, and then that just came up.
A little bit, you're a mole.
And besides, if you listen to the first clip again, Gary said the same thing on the air.
That's not the point. Ralph got upset about the off-air comment. And he only knew about that because of you.
Well, you know what, then, Gary, don't talk behind people's backs.
Well, you too. Why don't I just talk about all the shit you say in the control room behind everybody's back, including somebody you're looking right in the eye sometimes?
Who's that?
He says everything about everybody. Listen, you talk about this, talk about people's angles and blah, 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 blah. So if nothing's a secret, then why are we all working together? That would be anarchy.
What's he saying about Lisa G? Go ahead. I think she looks good.
Oh, my God, he laughs at her.
Stupid blow-headed jaw.
He laughs at Lisa G.
Did you just laugh uncontrollably?
I did. I was making fun that she found it so funny that she hasn't washed her hair since Sunday.
He was laughing like
she laughed uncontrollably. I mimicked that. Big fucking deal.
The point is, if Gary says something about Ralph in a room, and you pick up the. Granted, maybe Gary shouldn't have such loose lips. He's got giant rubbery lips. But the point is, if you pick up the phone and call Ralph to tattletale,
that's not exactly what happened.
You're a mole.
No,
he's actually a rat.
You're saying it wrong.
That's a mole.
What happened was
that's not
Ralph and I were having a discussion.
If Ralph asked him to feed him information, then he's a mole. But since he kind of did it unsolicited, he's a rat.
I'll mole on Gary any day I want.
I know.
Listen.
You know what, Howard? Honestly, Scott and I were talking probably for like 15, 20 minutes, and he just mentioned it in passing. He didn't call me.
But mentioning it is in passing or otherwise is sort of like, listen, Ralph, there's things that are probably said behind my back that people don't tell me, and there's things that are said behind your back that I don't tell you because it just creates chaos.
What happened yesterday? Ralph
Yeah,
came in.
you wouldn't want chaos around the Howard Stern show.
Well, you know what I mean.
Ralph came in and apologized to you?
I know. I called Ralph.
Yeah.
I called him as soon as I got off the air, and I said, because I knew he was on his way here.
Right.
And I said, hey, man, do me a favor. As soon as you get in, stop by my office. So as soon as he sat down, I said the first thing, I said, we're degenerating into a weird place that I don't really want to go to because I'm not that mad at you. And he goes, oh, my God, I feel the same way. And then it was just like.
Did you guys blow each other after this
No,
conversation?
but it was sort of cool. We sort of felt exactly the same way.
Right.
And we didn't know how it got to that place. And
So now you're friends again?
Yeah, we're always friends.
You guys really don't like each other.
The thing is, the show really brings the worst out in me sometimes. It's encouraging.
There are things you don't like about Gary.
Well, but that's okay. There's things that people don't like about everybody.
But it's not like I hate Gary. I do like Gary.
It comes off that way a little bit.
What's that?
It comes off that way a little bit.
I know. Well, yeah, because he annoys me sometimes. And,
he thinks Gary's a shitty producer. He does.
I don't think he's a shitty producer.
You do.
Just admit it.
I don't know what that. I don't know when you say producer, it's such a broad term. You don't need a quote-unquote, again, producer. You don't need somebody who's going to steer the ship for you and do all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's not true, Ralph. In other words, some people need a producer. There's some radio people that the producer is more important than the talent, where the producer says, at 8 minutes after we're going to do this, at 10 minutes after you're going to go to that, and the talent just listens. Howard really is the producer of the show, but he does need somebody to steer him and say, this is what's available. We got to do this at this time.
That's right.
You're a great producer for him. And I don't see anything wrong with saying that,
Well, you're implying that he could.
But that doesn't mean Gary doesn't have other talents.
It's a backhanded compliment.
It's not, though, Fred.
Hey, by the way, as long as I got Depace in here, let's get it all off our chest.
Uh-oh.
Depace has been harboring a very big resentment toward Gary.
Why?
That he hasn't brought up on the air. Scott Depace, our director. And, you should know about this.
Well, this is where all of this fomenting unrest comes from.
Is it going back to the sleeping tape?
No.
Okay.
This is going back to, in your new book, the picture you use actually was taken by Scott Depace.
Uh-oh.
I don't know that that's the case.
That is the case. I went back, looked through my pictures. It's number 33 of 50, half of which were like pictures of lights and crap like that for our Vegas show. It's my picture.
Okay, how much do you want for it? I'll pay you for it.
And you didn't ask permission.
I did. You know what? It wasn't as if I knew it was Scott's and I didn't ask permission. I thought it belonged to someone else, so I'll pay you for it. I'd rather pay you for it and not have to deal with you than actually have to fucking deal with you.
I think you said that was priceless, that picture.
Yeah.
It's your Picasso.
That's my Pollock painting.
You realize
how much for a dozen of those shitty shirts? I'll give it to you.
Now you have, and now, Gary's not only insulting you, but you could kill his whole book just by not giving him permission.
I wonder if I took him to court, what would happen?
Yeah.
You could absolutely sue him and stop the book from coming out.
That's right. You can prevent everything.
I'm filing an injunction.
I did say that it was my picture.
And I really didn't think it was.
You should have checked into it. At least asked me.
But I thought I knew where it came from.
$5,000. Call the book company and tell them you want.
I'd like to see the proof of that, by the way, too. He could just be breaking my balls.
I can prove it to you. I actually have another picture I sent Howard right after. That's like same color. You can obviously tell same camera right after.
Because there were a lot of people shooting that day. How do you know that one's yours?
Gary, I remember exactly, and I looked at that picture.
If you want to go to a photographic expert, I will let you.
You're going to give Gary the picture, aren't you?
Yeah,
Are you really harboring resentment? Are you really?
Where do I go? Listen, I gave Howard I said, listen, I don't want shit for this picture, but Gary's wrong again.
But
it is my picture. He should have to do something, apologize to me for how he treated me.
No, I apologize for using your picture. I apologize for using your picture without your permission. That's all you'll get from
to
me.
this day, when I drive up to the parking garage, he literally will start running so he doesn't have to walk with me.
No, I don't start running.
Are you two really?
I talked about this the other day.
It's unbelievable.
Here's what happened.
You don't want to talk to him.
Such a baby.
If Scott and I got out of the car, we used to get out of the car at the same time. Sometimes we wait for each other. Now I don't wait for him. If we got out of the car at the same time, we'd walk together.
The other
but
day,
I'm not looking
he literally was 20 feet in front of me.
That's not true.
Yes.
Well, it might have been. Why would I wait for you?
But Scott, he is so angry with you, and you still don't understand why.
No.
Because he made a deal with you that you would not use pictures of him.
Yeah, and I've explained
video of him.
And I've explained that I had
And
a
he
little to
trusted
do
you.
with that.
No, you had everything to do with it.
No, I didn't.
Of course you did.
Not with getting that tape
And
to you.
so did
no.
I, and so did Doug. The three of us are guilty, and accept your guilt. And you especially had to deal with Gary.
Right, you probably have the most guilt because you had the conversation with me. But we're going in a circuitous conversation because he'll just, again, tell you how it's not his fault.
Right.
But yeah, do I harbor resentment? Absolutely. Do I want to hang out? Do we talk to each other? Yes. Are we working together? Absolutely. Has anything changed there? No. But do I want to be the kind of friends I was with him? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Friends you were. You know what? Everyone I tell the whole story to about this whole Gary sleeping thing, they all have the same opinion that Gary always didn't like me, and it was just this.
But that's not true.
You did. Listen, you broke a trust. Gary said to you, "You're not going to use tape of me while I'm off mic," and you said, "Absolutely, I promise you." And then you broke your promise.
Scott,
yeah, but you know what, Howard? Gary created a whole deflection around that. He put his feet up, he kicked back, and he went to sleep during a big segment. I mean, that was just awful. And he managed to create this other story, make it about Scott.
I didn't create a story. I took again. Ralph. This is why you get under my skin. So this is why Ralph gets under my skin. But okay, I never created a deflection. They made fun of me like they still make fun of me. It's in every fucking joke. It's in songs. Every time I hear it, I cringe. It fucking bothers me.
Right.
Okay. So I dealt with it. But this thing with Scott is real. And if it would have happened to you, Ralph, you'd be just as pissed. If somebody fucked you over like that, you'd be just as angry.
But he's right. You did. You
Hold
put
on.
your,
Wait a minute.
you put your feet
I'm not
up.
talking to you. I'm
your
talking to
feet up.
Ralph. I've already dealt with you. Ralph, if somebody fucked you over like that, how would you feel?
I said at the time, I'd be so pissed off. I don't like people when they record me when I don't know it, and you know that's a total invasion of privacy.
Right.
But I also would never allow a camera in my office or in my house, and then if I was going to go to sleep, I would certainly throw something over it and cover it. I mean, you're sleeping on camera. You know, you got to take responsibility for what you did.
I have taken responsibility for what I did.
And even that
Why were you so tired that day? I forget.
I ate 7 black and white cookies.
He's probably writing his book all night.
Yeah, right. He was just writing his book.
Nobody's going to read your book, Baldy.
He was up stealing your
Best he got.
pictures.
That's it. I'm not giving you my picture. Take that back and apologize to me right now, or I'm not giving you the picture.
Fuck you.
All right, you're not getting it.
You're taking away the rights to your picture?
Right.
Sue me. Sue me.
Okay, we'll be at court then. Who's your book company?
Simon & Schuster.
All right. Hope they have deep pockets.
It'll be Simon, Schuster, and Depace when I'm through.
You should have a lawyer call over to them today, Scott.
You'd have to pay for one. He didn't like doing that.
One last thing about this mole comment. I called Ralph yesterday after the show and said, listen, if that was me that you're talking about, because I didn't know, by absolutely go ahead and say that I said that, because I don't hide behind those comments.
You know what? I would have said who it was, but quite frankly, I forgot. I didn't even remember who it was.
Well, anyway, there's obviously a lot of bitterness that Gary in the morning avoids you and walks
Well,
ahead
he
of
does the same thing. Listen, even when we were alleged friends, he gets out of like Scott's very odd. Even when we were like buddies, if he gets out of the car 2 minutes before me, he just walks. He just wants to do what he wants. So it's not like we're a couple and walk to work together.
You're crazy.
Who do you like better, me or Scott?
Everybody, Brian, me, and Sal, we would have these walks with Gary where Gary would just take over the whole friggin' conversation. And suddenly you're not even there. He's just yap.
In my world, you're not there anymore. You're invisible, except for the fucking shining light on your head.
Gary tends to dominate the conversation, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Hey, what happened? The guys would be walking to work and Gary was the only one allowed to talk?
Yeah, and we would all sit there and look at each other and go, Jesus, he doesn't shut up.
You know what? He's being...
Hey, guys,
is that true?
That's absolutely true.
Really?
Sal and Phelan will back me up, unless they're pussies.
You know, this feud has actually gotten so sad that I had Gary out to my house this summer with his wife, and I said, Beth said to me, gee, maybe it'd be nice to have another couple or something. I said, I'm dying to get... I'd forgotten you guys were having a feud. I said, gee, I like socializing with Scott Depace.
And his lovely wife, Pam.
And his wife,
She's
Pam. I like them.
Fantastic lady.
Yeah. And I said, and Gary... And I went, oh, no, Gary's at war with Scott. So I never called you.
But listen, I didn't tell you to do that. And everyone
no,
has...
you didn't.
And everyone has...
you got to consider, you were coming over. I'm not going to have Scott over when you're over.
But you know what? Everyone has a circle of friends where everyone doesn't get along.
You would have thought you would have thought that was really weird out of all the people if I invite Scott Depace. You really...
Oh, sure. It would have seemed like you were breaking my balls.
Right. And I didn't want to do that. I really slipped my mind. I thought, oh, we all like each other. We'll have fun together. We'll have a good time.
It actually was for when you had all the guys out, I think. And Scott, I think, holds me... He's not mad at me, but he's mad at the situation. He wishes he would have been invited.
I knew not to have... Of course,
That's
and I love
twice
Scott.
you blocked
and
him
you did say you would have another one, and I would be invited.
I know. I do have to do that. But I love Scott. I do. I love Scott. I love working with the guy, and I love you, obviously.
And, you know, I want to just...
I'll socialize with you.
I got to go on record as saying, just because I vehemently disagreed with your politics doesn't mean I didn't like you before.
Now you just don't like him.
It had
now
everything...
right, because now I don't trust him.
Even about
he
the
can't be trusted.
baseball.
And I got to tell you, the mole thing just adds to that.
Right.
It was... I can only... Listen... I'm only being bad or a mole if I think I'm being a mole.
No,
I was
mole.
just having a conversation,
You're a mole.
and I happen to say something that I've heard Gary say 1,000 times.
If I said something around here in private with you in the room because I trust you and I know you and you're one of my guys, you're bro, suddenly if you pick up the phone and tell Ralph, hey, you know what Howard said today in the meeting?
But you're painting a different picture than what happened. That's not what happened.
But you know what? Anybody would have handed that tape over to Gary. I'm sorry.
No, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
You're not a mole. You're a washerwoman.
What does that mean?
Like a gossip, like a gossipy girl.
Right.
And you're sleepy. I mean, what the fuck?
Wow, that hurt. Ooh, ouch.
You know, if I ever were going to fall asleep at work, I certainly wouldn't put my feet up and just kick back the way he did. Like, I don't fucking care.
No, you don't fall asleep. You just leave early to play golf.
He didn't care what was going on this show. He just said, fuck it.
Don't miss a tea time.
Well, that is true. Wolf, I don't care if you need me. I got to go to sleep.
You know, you can accidentally fall asleep maybe where your head leans back and but man, that was just fucking...
Flagrant violation.
What?
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Fuck him in his picture. You know what? I'll get every book and rip the fucking page out.
All right, if anybody gets Gary's book, what page is that picture on?
Don't know yet, but send it to Scott. I'd love to have his fucking mailbox overflowing.
You can have all his pictures back.
All right, listen,
I'm trying to think, how can maybe I could give the picture out or something or ruin it somehow. Is there any way to...
I don't know, use your 121 IQ and go figure it out.
122. You were 121, dummy.
Oh, yeah. Dummy.
You two are too much.
See, the problem is, Howard, you love people arguing, too, and we all like to please you, so we all end up arguing.
Hey, don't blame this on me.
By the way...
To that
That's
rationale.
Convoluted. That's convoluted. Wow.
True.
Scott, Gary, Ralph, continue
Time for
this.
Gary's nap. He's got to go.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Gary had to go to sleep, Ralph says. So we interrupted his nap.
I didn't realize all the guys were like at each other's throats like this.
There's a couple of guys here, yeah. Oh, there's more that I know about of people who don't like other people.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even bring it up. Yeah, there's a whole thing. You know, you're at work. We forget this is work and that people, aren't going to get along. I could make a chart of who likes who and who's on what side.
Really?
Yeah. It's almost like the mafia. You have 5 different families. It's very cliquey around here. All right. Like, I always thought Jason and Will were like best friends.
And they're not.
No.
That was a surprise to me, too, when I finally realized that they're not close.
No. They don't even like each other.
Well, Jason, I think, likes Will. Will doesn't like Jason.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But that's not even a tenth of it.
That's tip of the iceberg?
Tip of the iceberg.
There's the mole. The mole. He said it 1,000 times. God, we've all said it about Ralph. No big revelation there. I mean, Jesus.
So you just felt like it was no big deal because he said it already on the air?
Yeah, exactly. I had called him, and I was upset with Gary for not taking Ralph because he backed up my opinion. So in the conversation, I said, yeah, Gary's an idiot. They wouldn't pick up your call. In fact, he said that you've never held that's coming from a guy who never held a job in his life, so what does his opinion count? That's why he didn't pick up the call, is what Gary said. So it totally made sense in the conversation. I'm not a mole, but fuck it. I'll mole against Gary any day of the week.
Gary, so you're still obviously very mad at Scott.
Yeah, I don't made no secret of that.
Now, do you think you would be as mad about this mole thing if he didn't catch you sleeping?
Well, it's not about him catching me sleeping. It's about him breaking a promise. But
if that didn't happen,
it has a lot more. It has a lot more to do with his attitude after that. Sort of cavalier, like fuck him. I apologize. I'm not wrong. He's wrong. Fuck him. So yeah, that helps. Piss me off. But listen, we're all talking all day long, and people say things about each other. It's sometimes it's in the heat of a moment. So if that gives me permission to every time I hear Scott talk negatively about someone, email them, then so be it.
What's happening with this picture? Is he going to get it?
No. I want the rights. I mean, I own it. So unless he makes good, and somehow he better figure out how to make me happy, or else it's mine.
So he doesn't necessarily have to pay for it. He just has to apologize.
I said to Howard originally, all it was I totally will give him the picture. I just want an apology, something on the air. That, half of it was in humor, but once he takes this angle, then fuck it. It's my picture. I want some serious cash.
All right, we'll see what happens.
All right.
And now he wants something for this picture.
Yeah, I called the guy from Getty Images called us. He's, it's one of the biggest photo services in the world. The going rate for a photograph in a book is $80. I'll give him $200.
So you'll be fine paying him for it.
Sure. I don't need to be in his debt.
No apologies for it? Because he said he wanted that, too.
No. I apologize for... See, again, you would apologize if I knowingly took it from his book and said, fuck Scott, I'm just going to use it. That would require an apology. I thought it came from K-Rock, which Howard owned the photos, and so I unwittingly used Scott's photo, and for that I apologize, and for nothing fucking else.
Scott, so I just talked to Gary,
Yeah.
And he said that he contacted a photo company, and the going rate for a photo like that is around $80. But he's willing to give you $200.
$200? That's a fucking nice picture. Gary really wants that picture's perfect because it shows all the guys on the show. It shows Gary in some sort of position of authority where Howard